not just a case. You're not just a client. You're a person, and you deserve support. You deserve simplicity. You deserve communication. When you hire an attorney, you deserve clear, risk-free advice that guides you to the best possible outcome in your injury case. And that's exactly what the advocates have been providing for over 30 years. After your accident, you deserve closure. You deserve compassion. You deserve peace of mind. You deserve an advocate.
This is The Monty Show, the truth in sports talk streaming. When you want unbiased opinions about your favorite team without the spin, all you have to do is find The Monty Show, streaming live and available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week on YouTube. And now, here's Monty.
Hey, The Monty Show, live on, it's already October 2nd. Thursday, October 2nd, the day the Cubs season comes to an end. We're about to get first pitch in the penultimate Game 3 of the Wild Card Series. We have a ton of college football to talk today. You're going to hear college football, Monty. Hey, Monty, what about college football? Let me at least have my Cub fandom die in peace today, please. Just spar down, settle down, all of you relax. I may actually shed tears on the program today. Jake's here for it.
That's correct.
Admittedly, I'm a little fired up. I got a lot of sleep last night, like 2 hours of REM sleep last night. Like, we're here for it on the Monty Show, presented by The Advocates at theadvocates.com. Let them handle the claims process for you. When you've been in an accident, the advocates understand it's one of the worst days of your life when you've been in an accident. You focus on getting healthy. Let the advocates focus on fighting the insurance companies. You focus on getting back to the best version of yourself. The advocates are going to fight the fight for you. They fought that fight. They've won that fight. And the best part is they're going to do it without asking you to reach into your pocket. That's right. You don't pay the advocates unless and until they win your case, so you have nothing to lose. Get to theadvocates.com 24/7, 365. An attorney is willing and able to speak with you when you need them, where you need them. If that's a phone call, if that's a FaceTime or video call in a hospital room, they are ready. Go do it right now. And again, yesterday, and I won't say their name, a regular viewer of this show reached out to me about a dog attack. And I feel like this is something we're hearing more and more, where a dog that turned out to be 2 blocks away, the owner of this dog, this listener's wife was walking down the driveway, and this dog came running out of nowhere and knocked this woman over, and she hurt her wrist. That's not her fault. That's not your fault. They find out it's the owner is 2 blocks away and had left the gate open when bringing their garbage cans back in. And the dog got away, and hey, there's a price to be paid for that, man. You shouldn't have an injured wrist. That's where the advocates come into theadvocates.com. What's up? Eric Wasikowski already choosing violence. Are you pissed off that the Tigers are about to go out of the playoffs? Is that what this is? You're already upset. You know, it's you're talking about the Lions yesterday. I'm glad you actually make a jackwagon of yourself. After the show, I was talking to an NFL friend of mine who was telling me, yeah, you're exactly right about the Lions. We don't know who they are yet, but we do know the Lions are not the Kansas City Chiefs, and we do know the Lions are not the Buffalo Bills. They are not nearly either one of those teams. The team that I was chastised for the most for leaving behind, the Green Bay Packers. And I say, listen, when we talk about NFL power rankings, and I'm happy to do it, I look at a lot of statistics. I use PFF again. Pro Football Focus, I think, has the best data and analytics that you need to make informed decisions about your football takes. And I can simply tell you that I look at the Green Bay Packers and the Detroit Lions, and I say they have not impressed me at all. And Micah Parsons being on that defense, week 1, we thought they were unbeatable. The world was ending. Then you go to Dallas and you almost lose that game. And it gives you pause, and then you dig into the numbers and you realize the offense in Green Bay has not been scintillating. And a lot of people just want to look at numbers like, hey, they've scored this much, they've given up that much. Totally get that. But you start looking at some of the numbers on Detroit and Green Bay, and I think the division comes down to those two. Minnesota and the Chicago Bears are just not, I mean, they're not there, right? I think we all recognize that. But I start digging into some of the numbers, and I am telling you now, the numbers in the NFC North are not good. They are not good at all. And furthermore, when I look at truly, because I think the best passing offenses are what's going to win at the end of the day. I don't think, like the Lions, I think are significantly third cut of passing offenses. You look at the Rams. Obviously, I think the Dallas Cowboys arguably could have the best passing offense in the NFL with the way that Dak is playing. But I look at the Seahawks. I think the Seahawks passing offense has been significantly better than the Lions or the Packers. I think the Packers, if I had to pick between those two, because it seems like that's where the comment section went last night, I would pick the Packers over the Lions. That's my opinion. Obviously, when you look at the passing numbers, I think it's not close. I think it's not close. I think the Packers have done a significantly better job of diversifying their offense. But I think both those teams are, like the 49ers playing tonight.
Mm-hmm.
And I think this is a very real conversation. I think this is a very real conversation, and one that I think is going to be very difficult because of Brock Purdy's contract. Should the San Francisco 49ers make a quarterback change? If Mac Jones comes out tonight and he plays well again, should the San Francisco 49ers make a quarterback change?
I mean, I don't know that you can. I mean, should they? Probably, yeah. They probably should, but
isn't that your best point? Can you?
I don't think they can. I mean, you're not like, again, as I said, I believe I said last week that if I'm the 49ers, I would just continue to play the game. I would continue to say, well, Brock's arm isn't feeling great, or his foot hurts today, or I mean, whatever excuse you want to come up with, that's what I would continue to do. I mean, I just don't think that you can, you can send the message that, hey, like the franchise quarterback isn't playing, not because he's hurt, but because we actually think Mac Jones is better. That doesn't really work out based on what you're paying him. So I think that's tough. But I also think that, it is still early. I mean, we've just crossed the quarter post of the season, obviously 4 weeks in. And I think that, it's difficult. Like, a lot of these teams I look at, and I think the question of who can turn it around, who can find their stride, who can get the rhythm back, I think is a really pertinent one. I like the Lions, I think, can continue to find their stride. I agree that I don't think anyone's ever had them as top cut team in the league, right? I think their performance last year in the playoffs shows you their shortcomings.
Bosa being out again is horrific. I mean, that's a huge blow to that defense. But I mean, anyway, and we can get into that game because I think the prize picks on that game are phenomenal. But I think when you start looking at who the best teams in this league, I think the first cut, and I've thought about this a lot more, I truly think it's Kansas City and Buffalo. Because I will again say I hate when I'm seeing in Philadelphia. But here we are going into the first game of October. And again, the runway is what you laid down in September. Now you're either going to take off or there's a bunch of potholes in that runway. And we'll see. But I think there's a large group of teams that includes Detroit and Green Bay. I think it includes, Dallas is certainly in there. Washington is in there, although I guess Terry McLaurin now has been ruled out, which is brutal. But I look at that second cut of teams. Seattle's in there. The Rams are in there. I think it is, obviously it's very early in the season. I'll be fascinated to see how all that plays out. But a lot going on today. Let's see who's in the, look at that. TJ Beck gifts 50 Monty Show memberships. Wow. Getting started early. I love that. How about this? Jamison Tyone hasn't given up a run yet, and he's got 2 outs. He's got 2 outs. I am a miserable Cub fan. I truly am. The real stadium guy, James. I don't think this is Oak State, James. He's got a tattoo on his forehead. Something just, it doesn't. TJ says, add a kid, Monty. You're in a food wonderland right now. What do you mean? P.S. To help Oak State James Army, I'm donating some memberships. Calford, back me on this. Let's go. Just keep growing the Oak State James Army right here on the Monty Show. That's what I'm saying. I went down the Pike Marketplace for lunch today here in Seattle. And it's bananas. It is absolutely bananas. My dog tried to murk a couple of pigeons, and it's a beautiful day here in the PNW, and I'm just telling you, it is there's a lot of food around. There is a lot of food around. Mike Smith, hut that like button. Hut. Okay. Real P Forte, good afternoon. Need James to cheer for the Cubs today. No, he's a Padre fan. He is a Padre fan. And Manny gets another, hey, PCA. Best defensive outfielder in baseball ends the first. No runs, no hits for the Padres. Cubs coming up. Detroit now up 6-1 over Cleveland. So it looks like Detroit is going to hop a jet and head for Seattle. Real quick in the comment section. How much is too much to pay for baseball tickets? My wife, who is the whole reason we're in Seattle for however long, my wife wants to go see the Mariners this weekend. And you know that we're Cubs season ticket holders. Couldn't get back to Chicago with all this craziness going on. So I was like, okay, let me see what I can do for tickets. It's like $300-400 a ticket to see the Mariners in the DS, the division series. I'm not willing to pay that much for a team I'm not invested in. Am I wrong about that, Jake? Like, what would you pay to go to a game?
In your situation, just having gotten to the city, the wife brings it up and she wants to go. I mean, knowing your guys' situation, there's no question you could afford it. It's really more of a premise.
Yeah, it's not an afford thing, though.
I don't know. If she wants to go, man, she's a baller. I mean, if she wants to go, like, you know what I mean? Like, it just, I mean, yeah, I agree it's expensive, but it is the playoffs.
I'd rather the Seahawks are home this weekend against Tampa, Baker and company. I'd rather go see Bake than the Mariners. Right, because I can get into the Hawks game for $175 out the door and see some NFL. I mean, that to me seems more realistic than, I don't know. I could be wrong. I just
think it's the difference is it's not a fair comparison. I mean, you're comparing a regular season game to the postseason. I mean, it's the postseason. The Mariners have been better lately, but haven't been a postseason regular over the last 8-9 years. So now that they're good again, I just think there's a lot of hype around that team. And T-Mobile is supposed to be a great park. I've never been, but so I don't know, man. I think, like I said, it's a premise thing. Are you willing to pay it? If you are, great, go. If you don't want to, don't go.
I don't know. It's probably $500 for a team that I'm not at all invested in. And
yeah, but like going to the game itself. See, this is the thing. Going to the game itself, like you just got to Seattle, I'm sure you guys are enjoying the change of scenery. Like you obviously would have a great time. Go to the game, get yourself a dog, get a beer, have a nice couple hour time. I don't know, just yeah. I don't know. If I could afford it, I'd probably go. Honestly, I'd probably go. But that's
would.
Because it's a playoff game. I mean, how many times do you get to go to a playoff game in the city you live in? That's the thing.
Yeah, I don't know about that. Aaron Wilson gifts 1 Monty Show membership, America's favorite mailman. Let's go. Hey, Dub, good to see you. And he gifts 2 Monty Show members. See, this is what we deliver memberships through the USPS. That's my guy, Aaron Wilson, who also has been a member for 30 months on the show. Let's go. Tech 41, Houston 13. I think that's going to be a drubbing.
No, that's going to be a 60 piece, bro. Guaranteed.
No. Does Tech have a quarterback controversy? I think there's more there than we believe. And Joey McGuire was talking this week about how you are, and I want to put it gently, the backup quarterback's not going anywhere. Don't call.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's not a
3-year deal.
That's not a ringing endorsement. Now, I understand you're saying, hey, this is Barron's year, and then we're on. I'm not saying that Baron Morton shouldn't be the starter at Texas Tech, but I think his seat should be uncomfortably warm.
It is. Not should be. It is. The moment he falters, Will Hammond will be in the game. For sure.
We'll see. I'm interested to see how that works out. I am very interested to see how all that plays out because I'm not convinced. I am not convinced. And I love Baron Morton. I am not convinced he's the guy to take you to the promised land. I truly am not. And I'm not hating. I'm certainly not hating. But, the real stadium guy, James.
Morton is injury prone. We don't know now. That's the problem. I don't know if this is James or not because now we've got like 5 burners in the membership, and it's difficult to tell.
Well, listen, when you're a big star like Oak State James, these are the things that happen.
Yeah. So I mean, is this the Butt Buzzer 5000 actually commenting, or is this one of your burners?
Yeah, I think this could be the Bucky's manager. You need a backup who's good. Split the reps in practice 70-30. Okay. It is what it is, and it's fine.
Bro, what is this? What is this? This right below, right next comment. Can I please share my good news? What good news? If the good news is that you've got like 50 burners in the membership,
yeah, nobody cares.
That's not good news, dude. So
Tigers take game 3. Well, I don't know if you know this, but baseball games are 9 innings. Baseball games are 9 innings. So, yeah. The James bots are coming out. Yes, they are. Dodgers have a revenge series against the Phillies, and I'm here for it. Now, if I was in LA and it was Phillies Dodgers, yeah.
Yeah, but that ticket would be like $700, dude.
Yeah, but I would pay that to see Shohei, the great gambler. I would pay that. But I'm not going to watch fat ass hit bombs. Like that. That's the issue. I'm happy to add a Seattle Mariners like the fork hat to my repertoire. I'm happy to do that. I love the Mariners hats. I do not give a rat's ass if they win or lose. I truly.
See, that's your problem. That's your problem. Sometimes you gotta be able to go just to have a good time. That's the thing.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I don't know about that. TJ Beck, can we get the real James send a picture of his wife to Monty as proof with him in it, not from the rectory? Could be. The real James, I'm at work. I can't just take a picture of my wife.
Oh,
well,
dude. Come on, bro.
Fuck off. Are you kidding me? Hey, did Nico really just get thrown out at second base with, I like I hate the Cubs.
Hell no.
He's out by a mile. I'll never understand it. I will never understand it. Alex Rea, paying any money to see Ohtani is worth it, even if your team is getting shellacked. I agree. Dana Marie is nowhere to be found. I agree.
Yeah, don't know where she is.
Jeremiah Champion. I've just logged in. I'm so lost.
Bro, what are you talking about, man?
You are, and trust me, you don't want to be found in this crowd. T-Mobile Field has a clam chowder and a bread bowl. You got to try it. I haven't even had any carbonation lately. Joey B, Jake, are we wearing Birkenstocks with socks yet? Yeah, yeah.
No, I hate Birkenstocks, dude.
You guys, I also gotta tell you, this Liquid Death, dude.
It's an obsession now. I can tell.
Dude, I love it. It's so good. And it's don't drink flavored water. That says things about who you are. Liquid Death, white can, still water. Cheers, bro. This stuff, I'm telling you, I don't know what it is. Now it runs through me like a hot knife through butter.
Mm-hmm.
But Jake, are you wearing the Berkeys with socks yet?
No. I said I hate Birkenstocks. I don't wear Birkenstocks.
You do not. Whatever. You have a pair of Birkenstocks, the rubber ones.
Yeah, but they're not actual Birks. They're from Target. They're the fake ones. And I'm not a Birkenstock guy. God, what did I do to deserve this? I should have had a daughter. What the hell? Can I get a new co-host? God.
Like, what is your obsession with Target?
It's a value buy.
Like when you pop out the womb as a millennial, do you automatically get a Target credit card?
Yeah.
With all due
Like,
respect.
I do not understand this in any way, shape, or form. I don't understand it. And if you want to help me understand it, sure.
There's value to be had at Target, bro. You're just a hater.
Jake, Eugene is no manscaping zone. It's an ordinance. LOL. Yeah, you can't. Well, Jake doesn't manscape anything. Flavored water, you mean Kool-Aid? Exactly right, Gumby.
Exactly.
Suh, Dad. Good to see you. Jeremiah, I feel attacked with thy flavored water comment. I'm not the guy that's what was that stuff I used to obsess over? Crystal Light. You know how bad it turns out Crystal Light is for your rectum? You'll wind up with a butt buzzer like Oak State James. If that's what you do. Eric, who thinks baseball games are 5 innings. Oh, hey, why are you... I don't know what your... I don't know what your... Why can't I read the rest of his comment? Like, all of a sudden, it's just not available to me. That was weird. Okay. I have no idea what just happened right there. I have to go. So the mechanism behind the scenes that you guys don't really give a rat's ass about is I'm not looking at YouTube right now. I look at we use a software called StreamYard. So I don't look at YouTube until I need to, and Eric got filtered. What did you say that got you filtered? Okay.
So do you see his comment on the screen right now?
I do. Yeah, but there was another one that I now can't see. It just went away. That's Dan Lanning's drink of choice, Monty. Well, then I'm in the right place, I guess, because if Dan's doing it, I want to be doing it.
Yeah, the Danimal, you know.
All right, couple more, because then we do have to get to this Oregon State situation. Jesse Crum, sunsets from the upper deck concourse at T-Mobile Park are scenic. You should go to the game just for that. Yeah. The deck on top of my rooftop deck is stupid beautiful. I can't even. Or odd. Big Pontiff should be a White Sox fan, Monty. That way you don't have to worry about the playoffs. You'll never see him. Exactly right.
Exactly, dude. I mean, that's a great point right there.
Dude. The ladies shopping at Target at 3 p.m. on a weekday, though. Dude. Am I the only one who just won't? I won't lower my testosterone enough to go to Target. The one that, and I told this story, the one that's here in downtown Seattle, dude, it is wild. We walked through there to get I got the microchip injected in my arm the other night. No, I'm good. I'm never going back. There's no reason for it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, fake Burke Jake. That's exactly right.
Coronavirus.
That's right. Marcus, the Liquid Death rest in peach tea is amazing. Never had it. Never had it. How bad is Tang? We grew up on that too.
Oh,
Monty.
dude,
Jesus.
Tang, bro. Yeah,
Bro. Terrible for you. Maury, what's up, Maury? Hope the family's well. Liquid Death is super cheap at Sam's and Costco, which is where I'm going to start buying it because I don't drink out of. I'm also not the psycho who uses a Brita pitcher. Like that's just the idiots who use Brita pitchers. Like, you know, and I know you don't, Jake. Is that right?
You
don't
thought that you would appreciate me treating you like an adult.
I'm not the one sitting here bitching about playoff baseball tickets while also spending $18 a sixer on Liquid Death water in a can.
Is what it is. Eric got nailed for the sombrero emoji. Oh, is that what it was? I didn't even. What sombrero? What's the sombrero emoji? I don't know what that is. J2H, you rang the real butt buzzer, Bucky's manager. My God. My God. This is elite level trolling of James.
And look at the picture. Look at the picture, too.
Unbelievable. The woof in the like. This is unbelievable.
That's incredible, dude.
Monty, you have to
incredible.
make Target sound better. It's Target, exactly. Maybe I just need to convince myself.
And I'll see you in Valhalla.
Right? Yeah. Nah, bro. Nah.
Oh my God, dude.
Oak State James's left nut. I prefer Great Value water myself. Now, let me get this right. Now there's body parts. Now Oak State James has body parts.
Bro, who is this, dude? Now, who is it? Will you look who that is? Who the hell is that?
I don't.
Can
how do
we
you look
see
and
how
see who it
that
is?
is?
I don't know.
Bro, that is incredible, dude.
That is incredible. Like, you know. Bronco McFord is who that is. I don't even know who that is.
I don't know who that is. Okay.
Trump made a sombrero on Chuck Schumer. Okay. That's cool. I don't understand the whole obsession with doing everything that Donnie does. I guess I don't understand that.
Yeah.
I hope Eric didn't get banned. There's not much I can do about if you did, but dude, have the political beliefs that you want. I'm never going to tell you who you should or should not vote for. You do what you want to do. The Chad Carter, who's also now got an Oak State James emoji. Wait, I'm debuting a body part. Okay. Gumby, it's not me. Jimmy Otson. Why does your chat ban sombreros? What do you have against Mexican hats? Right?
I'm crying like a little girl.
You know, I can go and look at what it is. I guess I can go and go over here, go to the ban thing. Oh no, it was emojis. It was multiple emojis in his comments. That's why he got banned.
Well,
that's why he got filtered. Oh, look, Oak State James is back. Hey, fellas. Good to see you, Oak State Dana. The butthole of real Stadium James. Wow.
Bro.
Wow.
Wait, James's left nut is here in the chat, and his butthole is here in the chat.
Dude, I'm trying not to get too excited, but Jamison Tyone is dealing right now. He is absolutely dealing, and he was our best pitcher probably his last 3 starts, and he is absolutely dealing right now. He's throwing a circle change that is just murdering people. Gumby says, dude, suddenly Dana Marie appears. Double D Dana is back. We're fans.
Wow.
We're fans. And listen, I appreciate Dana. I appreciate all of you. I don't appreciate Oregon State. And boy, did I get an avalanche on this one. And I appreciate all of you who, and it was dozens of people, a ton of Oregon State Beaver sent me this article from Sportico. And I just want you to read this. And you tell me, because I don't know if I'm just dumb. And there's, some people who would tell you that. Oregon State has a deal with Blueprint Sports that would allow Blueprint Sports to walk away with over 50% of the NIL revenue generation at Oregon State. And I'm having trouble understanding who thought this was a good idea, because if it was Scott Barnes, and here's the problem for Scott Barnes, nobody has supported that dude the way I have. I think I have been a pretty staunch supporter.
I would agree.
You haven't, in my opinion, done the right thing because you haven't fired Trent Bray. You've allowed the football program to plummet, and maybe now we know why, because of this right here, where you have an arrangement where you as a baseline are paying Blueprint Sports $284,000 with a fundraising target of $750,000 in year one. The company gets to keep 75% of net direct revenues between $750,000 and $1.5 million. That's unbelievable. And Blueprint is entitled to a contract administration fee of 1.25% of all NIL compensation. And if you look at the real numbers on this, and this is shocking to me. Shocking to me. If Blueprint Sports generates $3 million of net direct revenue in a year, it would receive a total payout, including management fee, fundraising bonus, and contract fee of $1.542.5 million. When you have an entirety of $3 million generated. And we're supposed to believe this is a good deal for Oregon State? Are you out of your mind that this is the agreement that you made? Are you out of your mind that in this era of NIL, where players are already struggling to make money and get paid, and I don't mean the cream of the crop. I'm not talking about the Ty Simpsons or the Arch Mannings. I'm talking about Jimmy, you've never heard of him at Oregon State. And you're giving away half of your total to an administrator for your NIL operations. Well, I am absolutely outraged that a school on the level of Oregon State is doing this. And I just don't understand it. And am I overreacting here, Jake? I don't know. I don't feel like I am.
I mean, I don't think you are. The obvious inference is that Oregon State is giving away half of its revenue, or half of the NIL earnings, I guess, to Blueprint, so that Blueprint can get the kids paid more. That's what the sales pitch is, right? Hey, we're going to pay these guys 50%. But we're basically third-partying all of our NIL deals. And there is still, because of the House settlement, you have to remember that NIL deals at a certain level, like a certain valuation, would still have to be approved by Oregon State. But generally speaking, all you're doing here is third-partying your NIL efforts to Blueprint for 50% of the revenue. And that's what I don't get. I don't understand. We keep saying things like a school on this level. We keep saying things like Oregon State is this big time program. And with all due respect, you're not acting like that, and you haven't acted like that for a long time. Like, I know, and I'm more than happy to say, yeah, you were a pain in the ass for USC for years in the Pac-12, right? Like, you were a problem for Utah and Oregon and Washington, all those big time players in the Pac-12. You wrecked a bunch of their seasons. Like, you were headed in the right direction. But again, as I've said, the moment that you knew something, like the moment Carol Folt said, hey, we're going to the Big Ten and UCLA is coming with us, you should have been calling to try to get out of that conference and to try to get to a better situation so you didn't have to make dumb deals like this one. Because I can only imagine that your rationale, your thought process here was, hey, well, we're not making a lot of money right now, and we don't feel like we have the capability to make more money, to do more NIL deals, or maybe we don't have the staff or the resources or whatever it might be. We have shortcomings that are preventing us from making our football team better. And we have facilities. We just updated Reeser, so that's great, but we don't got a team, and we certainly don't have a head coach. So the question really is, why did you do this? What's going to be the excuse? What's going to be the, hey, yeah, we've got all these problems and Blueprint's going to fix all of our problems? Like, that's what's going to be. I'm telling you, there's going to be some version that comes out, and I would fully expect to get a statement on this out of Oregon State because of all the criticism they're taking, because they're definitely taking it. At some point, you're going to have to explain what the thought process was here, because I can't imagine that an Oregon State booster is going to be like, oh, yeah, man, we're really on board with this one. Like, I don't know how that works, dude.
And Blueprint counts amongst its clients Penn State, Arkansas, NC State, Maryland, and Oregon State now. And I will never for the life of me understand why you would make this deal. And listen, I get like I was reading through their Facebook earlier this afternoon, and Malik Washington got a deal with Pepsi and a pizza company, and they are excited about that. And I totally get it. I totally understand it. You're making people money, but at what cost to them are you making them money? And this just feels like an absolute scam. That's the only word that keeps coming to mind. I am shocked that Scott Barnes would make this deal with where Oregon State is. And I know you have to find people who will administer your deal. You have to find people that will make you money and help you sell. As a professional salesperson myself, I understand the challenges in that. I understand all of that. What I don't understand is spending this much money and then giving away 50% of it. Working hard to make this much money and then giving away 50% of it. I don't fucking get it. And I always tell you, I worry about the kids in these situations. I worry about the kids. I worry about the welfare and well-being when we already have a bunch of people with their hand in those kids' pocket. Now the school brought the bull into the china shop.
Well, and I think the other thing too, if you put the thing back on the screen, the graphic, you'll notice it says that the the fundraising target goes up at the bottom of the first paragraph right there, which increases 3% every year thereafter, and this is a 3-year deal. So you're talking about your current target's 750,000, and by the end of this thing, you're up 9% from there? I'm sorry. I thought you said that you were Oregon State trying to raise somewhere around $2 million.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I don't get is I guess maybe we need to have a conversation about like when we say things like Oregon State, the stature of a program like Oregon State, what does that mean anymore? Like, where is this program? Like
at the bottom of the G5 right now. You're at the bottom of the G5. And again, I would remind you, they just announced this deal August 20th. It's a brand new deal. And you have done what with it? Like you have, this feels really bad, dude. This feels.
I mean, can you even think of one positive out of this? I mean, is there one, like we were texting about this last night and I was sitting there, watching TV and I'm like, dude, like I can't think of one reason why an athletic department and specifically a football program would do this. Like you're basically saying, hey, like we need a third party to handle this for us because we're just not in a place to do it. I mean, is that the benefit, that you needed help with NIL?
I think this goes back to, and I can just speak from conversations I've had at Utah about NIL. Like in many different universities, I've talked to people. Early in the NIL curve, most universities didn't know the rules, didn't know how to make NIL deals. That's what this feels like. Well, you know what? This NIL thing, this feels like a university at Oregon State who saw a name like Penn State in a portfolio and wanted to be part of that. Only you're not Penn State. You're Oregon State. You are still reeling. You are still trying to find your footing. You're still trying to figure out how NIL works. What's our best way to leverage this as a G5? Like all of these things that you're trying to figure out, this does not help you. This is bad press. This is bad for recruiting, because you know what it really feels like? Everybody's making money but the kids. That's, again, and I don't mean to be redundant, and I know I keep saying that. This feels like everybody's making money but the kid. And that's not going to help you recruit. That's not going to help you bring people in. That's not going to help you make more money with sponsors. Like this, Jake, it just feels misdirected and misguided.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. Like, I agree that it does feel like everyone but the kid is making money, and obviously, like, you know, Blueprint's going to bring in deals for some kids. I mean, I do think
they
that
better.
well, I think they will. I mean, you know, you look at the size of Blueprint and, you know, how many programs they represent and everything. They're very much the business that brought in, you know, got into agreements with all of these collectives that used to exist, right? That they've basically just said, hey, we're gonna go and basically absorb all the early day NIL collectives. We're gonna leverage all those relationships, and then from there, we're gonna do deals that help us grow our business, right? Because again, from Blueprint's side, I mean, this couldn't be a better deal. I mean, you're not only are you like you're getting 50% of what did we say it was on 3 million? Obviously you're getting 1.5 million at that point. Like, and again, this is I'm assuming this is just uncapped at on some level. Like, hey, if you fundraise more, you're going to get more. So like they're incentivized. But I'm just disappointed, I guess, that this kind of a deal gets struck with a program like Oregon State. Like Oregon State, you know, we can have our disagreements about, you know, what the best way to kind of, you know, kickstart this program is, right? Like, obviously, we've talked about Trent Bray. We've talked about the direction of the program. Okay, philosophical differences. All right, cool. Like, we can have that discussion. I think that helps you make good decisions. But this is a deal where I'm not even sure that I'd be comfortable outsourcing my NIL if I was or if I was Texas, or if I was like one of the biggest.
I would build. I'm the one that believes you build it in house. I'm the one that believes.
I just don't know why you would not build it. Like this is what we've been talking about. Like I've been saying for how long that these schools inside of the athletic department should have in-house sales teams that go out into the community, bring in the NIL funding, bring in the sponsorship. Like, I truly feel like programs lean too much on the donor. Like, the donor's great. Old white hair who's driving his Merc and living on retirement from the tech business he sold. Great. Go get that guy. Awesome. But he's not the guy that decides if you win national championships. No. Your local businesses, your great story. Like, everyone and their mom's got a video department now. I haven't seen everyone and their mom making videos about businesses that support the program to grow the pot. And that's what I don't understand. Like, there's just so much more.
It's tough. And you look at, they have a very small portfolio of Blueprint, UNLV included, but it really is the clubs that we talked about. And, you know, I want to understand why this is good for G5s. You need to do this in-house. You need to do this in-house. You have got to create this infrastructure. It's the only way you can compete. It really is. Your Trump obsession syndrome is pissing off the intertubes. Okay. Who are you talking to? Nebraska, Steve, who's going to play where they give up their NIL? That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. You're talking about $3 million when the Big Ten is about to pull in $2 billion. Moving on. Well, but that's the shocking part of it. Who are you? Right? Who are you? And you're not, you're not a Power 4 program. If you're giving away half of your NIL revenue at a certain point in a contractual agreement, and we know that Oregon State is happy to sue people to get out of contracts, so the Cubs have the bases loaded. They have chased Yu Darvish. They're up 2-0. They bring in Estrada, the Padres do. He walks in a run, and Matt Shaw swings at 3 balls out of the zone.
Awful at bat.
Like, are you kidding me? Eric Wasikowski, Mike Smith, sometimes you're too soft. Dude, please don't start insulting people. Like, I don't understand why do you... we're slipping back into everyone making more money than the actual athletes generating the product, and it's all a part of the plan. It is. It's all part of the plan.
Mm-hmm.
That's exactly right. That is exactly right. And it just is... I cannot understand that. I really cannot understand that. But, maybe I'm making too much out of it. Maybe I'm making too much out of it. Tony Barber, liquid death lime is fire in the summertime. I like it. Stud Muffin. Corvallis is the grass seed capital of the world. Grass and sod is huge biz. That would be your local NIL connection, right? That's what you would think. Oh.
Yeah, no, they aren't doing it.
Yeah. No, they're not. No, they are not doing it, and it's frustrating. Tony Barber, Corvallis smells like cows and rotten beaver. Yeah, I hope this does not become the norm. I really hope this does not become the norm with the NIL game, where these big conglomerates come in and take this money, and it just is, it's incredibly frustrating. And it makes me ask this question. Does NIL make college football better? Because I'm of the opinion, no, it does not make college football better. I really do not. NIL has not been the boom for college football that I think it's been in other sports. And you're either winning in NIL or you're failing miserably. I don't see any university who's just kind of methodically plodding through. And I think you have to have your own collective that is run, hand in hand. Because like you said earlier, you still got to run stuff through the clearinghouse. The university has to approve it. Why farm that out? That's what I'm trying to figure out. And
I just don't feel like it's that difficult, bro. Like, honestly, I don't feel like
either.
Conceptually it's that hard to understand. I mean, we're not talking about, studying rocket science to do an NIL deal. We're not talking about doing complex math equations. Like, this is a very straightforward, hey, we're going to write a contract together. We're going to pay you a certain amount each season, and these are the obligations you have. Like, that doesn't seem that difficult to me. And what's funny is, like, you referenced the Joey thing with Will Hammond and that comment about, like, hey, you guys aren't going after Will because he's got a 3-year contract. Like, I have no problem with Joey saying that, dude. Like,
me either.
Like, I think that head coaches should be all over that and should be boastful about it and should absolutely flex that they've got their guys locked up, man. That's not a problem.
I'd rather have them say that than give the head coach a pay cut and tell your agents to stop calling. Negotiations are over.
But yeah, I completely agree.
But Mike Gundy fired.
But, like, we have Jimmy here saying that, hey, Oregon State has billionaire alumni left and right. That might be true, dude. Oregon State, I don't doubt Oregon State's supporter base. What I doubt is their business acumen to run the football program, dude. Like how is it? Like, it just shouldn't be that difficult, bro.
And then the Cubs ground into a double play. A 3-6-1 double play. This team makes me absolutely crazy. You have a guy in Matt Shaw who shouldn't even be on this team with a terrible at bat that torpedoes an inning. You had the bases loaded, and he doesn't even take a pitch. Horrendous. Cubs up 2-0. I hate bad baseball. I cannot stand bad baseball. And You know, I was watching MLB Network last night, and you have the guys on MLB Network last night talking about how if the Cubs get out of this series, there's a good chance they're going to win the World Series. And I'm like, do you watch this team play? Good Lord, dude. Like, I cannot stand bad baseball. That is just brutal. Steely, try being a Reds fan, Monty. Yeah, that but you guys are on the come.
Honestly, I'm stroking guys.
We know these guys are going to come
A lot. What does this do to existing Malik Murphy deal at OSU? I don't think anything.
Yeah, I don't think anything.
He's getting 1.5. Does he now have to give? No, it does nothing. But as a good buddy of mine is texting me, how do you explain this when you're sitting in a coach's office with a star high school athlete? How do you explain this when you're sitting in a coach's office with a star high school athlete? You're telling them Oregon State's the best place. We give away half our NIL deals to a conglomerate for a quote unquote administration deal. Yeah, I'm going to say that's a really good point.
Is this them giving in? I mean, is this them saying, hey, we've decided not to compete in football? I mean, I'm being serious. I'm not even being a red ass. I still, as we're having this conversation, can't tell you one good thing about this deal. I don't understand it. I don't know why. I don't understand the point. Like, what? Yeah. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah, I don't either. And it really is. It really is tough, man. It is really difficult to comprehend because Oregon State at its core is a basketball and a baseball. Their baseball program is fantastic.
Yeah.
But this deal with Blueprint Sports, if it is what it's lined out to be by Sportico, who is reporting this,
yeah,
it is a tragically bad deal. It is a tragically bad deal.
Well, in the sales pitch must have been like, hey, we have all these clients already who are interested in NIL deals, and we can get them to invest, pretty quickly, like this season, like as soon as possible, like. It's 50%, but 50% of what we can offer is still way more than you were already making. Like, it's that kind of deal, dude. I mean, it's that kind of sales pitch. But again, I'm left sitting here, with the pungent, distaste, the pungent aftertaste of, hey, you were in the Pac-12, you made bad decisions, and here's yet another bad decision. Like, this is another bad business decision out of a school in a conference that should have never melted down. And I just don't get it, dude. And I'm curious, how long until we get a comment? Like, someone's got to answer this question. Someone has to answer the question.
I don't think so. And I don't.
Well, you can't tell me nobody's going to ask, dude. Someone's got to ask.
Sportico asked, and I know others have asked. But you don't ever. I've sent Oregon State requests for comment, and they never come back. They just don't want to talk about stuff. And it just isn't surprising to me. I don't know. Oregon State does not have that many wealthy alums. They just don't. One billionaire, and he could care less. Well, I don't know if I would say that. I was looking at. Now, obviously, Phil Knight is an Oregon guy, but where did Phil Knight go? Well, he went to Oregon State, but he's not going to invest in Oregon State, would be my guess, right? I mean, it is. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, the Jensen Huangs of the world, who's a Taiwanese electric magnate, went to Oregon State. Right. I mean, but are guys like, who are athletes? Gary Payton, Chad Johnson comes to mind. Are those guys going to invest in Oregon State football? I would guess not. Is Brent Berry? I would guess not. But it just sucks. Like, it is really tough to understand how you put a G5 athletic program in this position. I just will never understand it. And I don't want to belabor it too much. I don't want to beat it into the ground, but It just makes me crazy. I want people. Yeah, I could be wrong. I just, it is shocking to me that it's just shocking to me. It is just shocking to me that this is where we've ended up in NIL. It's putting the kids second. And I wish I understood it, but all right, let's get a couple more comments because then we need to get to some actual football. Brent Blaylock is the guy that oversaw the debacle at Arizona. Yeah, I did. And OSU hired him in for the same deal. He pushed this deal. Something is off. I don't know if it's scandal or not. I'm disappointed in Scott Barnes because I have viewed Scott Barnes very differently than this. Yeah, get that Ocho Cinco money. I guess.
Bro, your boy is dealing, dude. Like
Jamison Tyone,
absolutely carving them up.
Jamison Tyone for the Cubs is absolutely dealing. And it's really frustrating to me that the Cubs, a lot of people want to tell you that the Cubs have a pitching problem. I am telling you now, the Chicago Cubs do not have a pitching problem. The Chicago Cubs have wow, that was a terrible at bat problem. That's honest to God.
You're not wrong.
That you do not have a bat at third base. Says all that. And listen, Ian Happ is a Cub through and through. He has been tragically terrible in the second half. He has been really, really bad. The guy can't find a baseball with a baseball bat. But the Cubs just come up in these situations and have awful at bats, no approach. When you've got a ball that's at least a ball and a half off the strike zone outside, and you're trying to pull that ball, you're lost. You're up in the night, dude. And it is just wild to me that this team, the Chicago Cubs, have one of the best pitching staff, statistically speaking, in baseball. Their bullpen's really good, and it's maddening to me. It is maddening to me. And it is going to be really interesting to see how the Cubs do if they move on. How they do. The Detroit Tigers have beaten the Cleveland Indians, so the Indians are out. The Tigers will head to Seattle this weekend to take on the Guardians. Thank you. The Cardos are done. The Gardos are done. The Tigers will head to Seattle to take on Fat Ass and the Mariners this weekend.
Yeah, Fat Dumper.
Do you like one team more than the other right now? Like, is there one team in baseball that you feel like is just playing because usually one of these wild card teams goes on a run. Do you like one more than the other?
Yeah, I mean, I would have said Boston, but they just, obviously that, they've been up and down. And, I think that the team that goes on the run coming out of the wild card, that's really hard to say. But obviously, you're going to look at the Dodgers and be like, yeah, that's probably the team, right? I mean, even with their shortcomings, the dispatching the Reds quickly like that tells you, hey, like, yeah, we could still beat up on a bad team or a team, not a bad team, but a team that's just not as good as us. And, I think, again, like I said, the Dodgers have immense playoff experience on that roster. There isn't going to be a moment that's too big for them. There's not going to be a situation they haven't been in before. And I think that to me is what separates postseason baseball teams. The teams that have more guys that have been there and are comfortable just playing another baseball game are typically going to win. And the teams that have rookies at third base who take awful at bats are probably going to lose. And that's the issue. So, I mean, obviously I would go with the Dodgers, but like the Padres are a good example of a team that have a ton of talent and are just super up and down. Sometimes they have good at bats. Sometimes, Yu Darvish will give him 5 innings, and then other times he gets chased in the second inning, I think that was. So, that's the problem.
Yeah, it's tough for me to want to. I don't know. I'm probably too harsh about it, frankly. Obviously, as a Cub fan, I'm obviously too harsh about it. It is really annoying to me that this team doesn't spend more money. That's what galls me, because the Cubs are probably slightly better than the Yankees are. They have a better pitching staff than the Dodgers, but the Dodgers are a superior offensive team. Like, there's not a series as Ian Happ hits a lazy-ass fly ball to the first baseman. Like, I mean, the at-bats are terrible. Like, you're looking at a team that should be contending for a World Series, putting up their core players having terrible at-bats, and they continue to run them out there. I get it. These are the horses that brung you. Does Ian Happ deserve to be an everyday player next season for this team? He does not, because he has not shown you to be good enough to do that. But my point is, if you look through the National League, I don't have any belief that the Cubs are better than the Dodgers or the Phillies. I mean, the Phillies can go to sleep offensively as well.
Mm-hmm.
There's no doubt. But are they better than the Brewers? I mean, they could be, but that game's going to be that series. Whoever wins this game here with the Padres and Cubs goes up to Milwaukee for Saturday. I believe it's Saturday they open that series. I could be wrong. It is Saturday. I think it's Saturday. But there's no reason to believe the Cubs had beat the Cubs had beat the Brewers in a series.
No, we've seen that matchup.
Right? It's not a good one. Did you see how filthy Mason Miller was yesterday? 105. Yeah. Just absolutely dominant. And that's what the best teams have, though. Today in baseball, you've got to have a power pitcher. You've got to have a power pitcher. And granted, the Cubs have 3 guys who can close. I mean, the bullpen's not the issue. I don't think the starting pitching has really been that much of an issue for the Cubs.
It begins and ends with the offense, dude. They're an offensive team, and when they have good at-bats, they win games, and when they don't, they lose games.
Yeah.
And that's, the hard part is like Kyle Tucker giving you a good at-bat right there. This pitcher they have,
2 for 2.
Suarez, is a fastball changeup guy. Estrada, fastball changeup guy. Changeup's really working. Kyle Tucker changes approach, go the other way, and what do you know? You got a base hit. Like, I just think it's not that hard to understand, but guys just won't do it.
And then there's Urban Meyer, Pervin Liar, whatever you want to call him.
Yeah, Pervin Liar, ye of Barstool with a girl way underage,
scumbag. But when Urban Meyer speaks, I listen.
The ceiling is really high. I mean, and he's right there at the top of the ceiling. So, I mean, go through 132 teams and would like to have the record that James Franklin has.
For sure.
And I made this comment on Big Noon or Colin Coward, I can't remember. And I said that when you lose a game in Columbus, I've been there. I've lost a game in Columbus. And the sun does not come up. People are so pissed off for so long in Columbus, Ohio. Mark, you watched it when you walk out of that stadium. And, I mean, and then you go to Ann Arbor and, the nasty, some of the things people say and look, and don't get me started on that one because we're going there this week. And then the last one is Penn State, the pregame, the whiteout, the best in the country. You lose that game, though, and I remember walking out when we beat Penn State, and everybody's, it's Happy Valley. It's everybody's, hey, see you next in a couple of years, coach, and what a game. And I'm thinking, damn, so very few places have the same mentality of Columbus, Ohio, where when you batten down the hatches when you lose a game there. I don't feel that way at Penn State. I think Penn State is about where they need to be, which is one of the top 5 teams in the country. And if they make some plays, they can win a national championship. It's just I think they're at near the ceiling, but the ceiling can always go a little further.
That's brilliant. I mean, that sounds vaguely familiar. Actually, it sounds really familiar. I believe that's exactly what I've said about Cock on 5.
Mm-hmm.
Is that this is who they are. This is the top of the mountain. I think that Average Ass Aller is a guy that just, he's limited. He can't throw you to a victory.
Bro, is that a new one? Have you been working on that all week? Average Ass Aller? I think that's a new one.
No, my brilliance is that I don't have to work on things. It's, if you ask your mom, I was made for this. And God, I just hate the pitches that this team. Anyway, Cubs are up 2-0 after 3 on just. I should just turn this game off.
Mm-hmm.
It will derail the entire show. That is a ball, friends. That is not a strike. I think average ass Aller is exactly where we thought he would be. I don't think he's a difference maker. I don't think he's special. And that's ultimately the ceiling, because the defense is good enough. They're not nearly as good as they were last year. I think we all agree on that. The running game is stellar, because average ass Aller is a guy who can't throw, but he can run. And he's got 2 really good running backs. But I agree. The part of that bite that I think is so significant is when you lose a game at Ohio State, the world stops spinning. When you lose a game at Michigan or Penn State, and right now at Notre Dame, that's okay. We'll get him next week, coach. Good job. And I don't want that in my program. I don't want that in my program. I want it to be the end of the world. When you lose a football game, I think you have got to have serious conversations about why you lost that game and what you're going to do to prevent it.
It is what it is.
And I just don't think that happens at Happy Ending Valley. That doesn't happen at Cock on Thigh. Epstein I agree with Urban. They're like, yeah, that's too bad the kids didn't come through this weekend. But we've got the orange slices over here, guys. Come on over. Got Capri Suns for everybody, and then just grab yourself a bag of orange slices, okay?
Yeah, and then head into the showers and roll around on each other, and it'll all be good, you know?
Yeah. It's ridiculous to me.
Yeah,
that's all I'm saying.
I think that Penn State is a program that is in the worst possible place you could be in athletics, right? You're making money. You're relevant pretty much every season in college football with Baldy, Cock on Thigh guy as your head coach. You haven't yet gotten the airport moved closer to the stadium, so there's still progress to be made there. But overall, I think that, you're in the CFP pretty much every year. Typically you'll win at least one CFP game and get to the second round. Like, you're having success, but you just don't feel like a top cut, like no doubt about it. Like we are absolutely the top dogs in college football. And that's the hard part. And I think that it is a pretty damning statement about James Franklin. I mean, 4-21 versus the top 10, dude. Like it just doesn't get much more definitive than that. And as far as Ann Arbor and Michigan and all that, I mean, it's about the same thing, dude. I mean, honestly, at least, if we're being honest, at least with Jim, Jim was so hell-bent on winning, he cheated. I mean, I'd rather have a guy that's that hell-bent to try to win versus, hey, yeah, nice job, Jimmy. Here's a little blue ribbon. We'll strap it up next week. It's fine. That's the problem. And again, not that we're going to play it on the show, but if you're seeing all the video coming out of the Oregon video department, dude, they were not scared. They were not intimidated by you. They did not care that it was your whiteout game. Dude, they were dancing on the sideline when you played Mo Bamba on their first possession. That's supposed to be your, hey, we're going to get in your head and false start city and we're the best. And they made a mockery of you, dude. So I don't know, man. I just think that there's no getting away from it. But at the same time, I don't think you can fire Buddy, because who are you going to replace him with? Who are you going to go and get? That's the problem.
But I think this is who James Franklin's always been. He's a mediocre ass football coach. The guy's not elite. And I just go back to what Steely said. 4-21 against top 10 teams. That's not elite. That's not even good.
No, that's terrible. That's piss poor, dude.
That's embarrassing.
Awful. That's below not good.
It just is, in my opinion. I think this is why we get in trouble with AP voters who rank logos. They don't rank teams. They don't rank talent. They don't rank quarterbacks. They don't rank. They look at logos.
I think we still have the graphic. I think that's a great point. If you just look at a team's logo right now on the AP, where would you put Cock on Thigh? If you're just looking at logos, you knew nothing about these teams, would you even put them? Would they be a top 10 if you didn't know any better? Like,
they probably would. It's well, we are child abusers. You probably would. You'd have if you're just doing it on logos, you'd put Oregon, you'd put Ohio State, like Oklahoma, Texas, Bama, all the teams that are here. But the real issue is it's not even the teams that are here, it's the teams that are not. How is Virginia ranked ahead of Utah?
How is Virginia ranked at all? Like,
how is ASU ranked behind BYU, Illinois, Notre Dame? How is Michigan they're not one of the 25 best teams in the country? And yet, here we are. How is Virginia, how is Vandy behind Tennessee? How is LSU ranked ahead of Iowa State? Why is that? Oh. And now the guy who can't have an at-bat apparently can't catch the ball. Can't catch the ball. This is the same baseball player who decided, is it a foul ball?
That's a foul ball. Thank God. Thank God.
That's luck. That is luck. Anyway, I think this is I don't know if it's rigged.
Well, certainly there's bias, though. Certainly.
TJ Beck, could Urban turn around UCLA? Yeah, there's a cost for him being there eventually, but Urban Meyer's going to win anywhere he's the coach. He's shown from Bowling Green to Ohio State. He's shown.
He's not in the NFL, bro. No, he's not an NFL guy.
No, because you can't bully guys. And that's the way he wins in college football games. He bullies people. And that's ultimately the issue. So, it's a foul ball, Monty. Relax. No, it's not relax. It's the Major League Baseball playoffs. And you had a terrible at bat and you still can't field a ground ball.
Let me guess, James, you're an Astros fan. And then you're a Royals fan. Right. And then
he doesn't have a baseball team.
And then let me guess, you're probably a Yankee fan just because it's the Yankees.
Oh God. Big Daddy Magic. I have questions and I want answers. When are you going to answer them? I don't have any idea what you're talking about.
What are you talking about?
What are you talking about? Like, I have no idea what your questions are. I don't know. The stadium guy, Dana Marie. Geez, Monty, relax. Exactly. Urban is tough to work with, his coaches have said. Well, maybe. I think Urban wins. And having known coaches who have worked under Urban, I don't know anybody who doesn't like him. Because he surrounds himself with like-minded people who, and again, I say this, I want to win every rep. I don't want to win. I don't want to win every play. I want to win every rep in practice, in the weight room, in the lunch line. I want to win every rep. Answer your phone and you might get some answers. Well, there you go. It is what it is. It is what it is. Then there's this topic. Jamison Tyone is just dominating people. Like, it is he was such a bust for the Cubs when they acquired him. And to see, and that's probably strong, but to see him dealing is great. Well, there you go. My college football pain is Notre Dame. Agree or disagree with BQ on CJ?
Is there anyone you could say is unequivocally better than him right now? Better than CJ Carr? I mean, Dante Moore comes to mind. I'm not saying he's better, but he's in that conversation.
I wouldn't say
Fernando Mendoza.
I wouldn't take anyone over CJ.
Who are his peers?
He's a redshirt freshman. He's a redshirt freshman. Yeah. Like we're talking right now. You're talking to a guy who was like, I wanted to play as a true freshman because I think he was ready. Now it's that's for another day, another conversation. But like, I have a true belief that like we would have ended up in the same spot last year if he was our quarterback last year because as good as Rodley was running the football, he's not as good as Jeremiah Love or Jadarian Price. So when you're taking the football out of their hands, even though he's going to be effective, you still aren't utilizing like everything else out around the passing game. And obviously it's no secret the passing game struggled last year and that really wasn't a strength. Well, it's a strength now. Like people have to worry about Malachi Fields and Faison and the rest. And obviously Eli, as he's continued to come on the tight end position. Like we have legitimate threats. We've had legitimate threats. We now get to utilize them because we've got a guy who's got that sort of talent as a passer from the pocket and even outside the pocket when he extends plays.
Yeah, I don't think CJ Carr is the best quarterback in college football. Now, if we're talking about a year from now, okay, we're having a different discussion because I think the growth that we've seen out of CJ is pretty remarkable. But if I look at the college football passing leaders, again, I'm going to tell you that I look at like Mendoza is a really interesting one because I actually think that he's really, really good. I look at somebody like do I want CJ Carr or Sawyer Robertson? Probably am taking CJ Carr.
Probably.
Like you look at guys like Joey Aguiar, I'm probably taking CJ Carr. But somebody the ilk of a Josh Hoover, I'm probably taking Josh Hoover. But I would agree, and I looked at this quite a bit, leading up to this conversation. There's not a whole lot of dudes I would take over CJ Carr the way he's played the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely played better. There's no doubt about it. I think that, part of Notre Dame's problem, which then inherently means it's CJ Carr's problem, is the play calling, right? I mean, obviously they've opened up the play calling a little bit, given him more opportunities in the passing game, and he's rewarded them for that. And so, that's great to see. But again, it's very much a week-to-week situation. Who are they playing and where are they playing the game, right? If you're playing at home and you're playing against a team that is not as good as you are, and they open the playbook up for him, he looks really good. What I want to see is I want to see them open it up against a good team. Like, let him show you what he's capable of decision-making wise against a better team. And when you do that, I do think he'll reward you, but under no circumstances am I going to sit here like I wouldn't take CJ Carr over Aguilar at Tennessee. I would not. I think
I think I would.
Joey Aguilar took, absolute sensational performance in that Georgia game, right? Like, I mean, I don't know, man. I think that CJ Carr is a good quarterback. I agree with you. A year from now, he's he's definitely in the Heisman conversation to start the year. But I just think it's so up and down. It's much like the BYU conversation, right? I mean, we see this with BYU and a lot of other teams. Like the play calling, is so restrictive sometimes, and then sometimes they open it up for him, so you don't really know who he is yet. I think
Aguiar, the problem is he throws too many interceptions. That's the one thing.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the real conversation is the freshman quarterbacks, guys like Ty Simpson. I think that's a really tough discussion. Ty Simpson or CJ Carr. I think that's really close. I think CJ's probably a slightly better passer. But is he getting the reps? Well, no, because they wouldn't allow him to throw against Miami, which now we know is probably really a bad decision. So you start looking at, you put things together in total, and it's awfully difficult to pass on a guy like a Ty Simpson, a CJ Carr. But you look at some of the other guys, like I think CJ Carr is significantly better than even upperclassmen, a Bo Perbula, an Eli Holstein, a Carson Beck.
Mm-hmm.
And
obviously the experience level too, right? I mean, that's obviously a huge factor, right? Redshirt freshmen versus in some cases with these guys, juniors and seniors. So obviously that's going to be a huge part of the conversation. And I completely agree that the trajectory is really high. I mean, I think that the obvious comparison would be like Arch Manning. Would you take Arch Manning or CJ Carr?
Carr. I think Arch Manning was really bad until last week.
Mm-hmm.
And outside of that fourth quarter, he was really, really bad. Really, really bad. And it is, in my opinion, it's tough to overlook. God, and another terrible at bat for the Cubs. It's tough to overlook the hero ball that Arch Manning tends to play far too often. And, I look at, again, I think Josh Hoover at TCU now the system is completely set up for him.
Right.
But Josh Hoover's got a bunch of bowls on his face. I mean, if you look at he is rated significantly lower, like looking at some of the numbers. Now he's thrown the ball 135 times. And I think CJ's thrown 104. So the scope's a little different. But I'm a little surprised that he's only got 11 touchdowns, and his sack numbers are what's impressive at 8, but he's only rated 164. And for elite quarterbacks, guys like Fernando Mendoza, who has not played anybody, is rated 198. And again, I just keep telling you, it's not early anymore. So I think it's interesting. Mm-hmm. I think it's interesting to see where
Baron Morton.
No, Baron is we're starting to learn. And this, again, I go back to all the work I did leading up to that Utah game. Baron Morton is very limited by his own inability to get outside of his belief system with his eyes. Baron Morton doesn't see disguise at all. Baron Morton doesn't read defense as well at all. And then he really tries to put balls into small windows. Yeah, I mean, there's not even a comparison. CJ Carr is a significantly more advanced quarterback mentally than Baron Morton is. CJ understands that what he's seeing is not what isn't real. He knows, and it's why you see now in today's offenses, you see so much motion, you see so much moving a back.
Dude, if you're not motioning pre-snap, you're handicapping yourself. There's just no question.
Well, and if you're not using the running back to out the mic, if you're not using motion to out man versus zone, like Baron can't do that. So if somebody's telling you, hey, I'm going to take Baron Morton over CJ Carr or Arch Manning, Fernando Mendoza, you just don't know ball.
Like, so who would you take over CJ Carr then?
Fernando Mendoza for sure is the one that stands out. Probably Julian Sand, probably Jaden Mayava.
Obviously Dante Moore.
Dante Moore for sure. I think Dante Moore is the best quarterback in the country.
Yeah, that's why I said, I know what you think of him. So,
you know, I also think there's a conversation around
about Mayava.
I think that's really close because he's asked to do so much and he just doesn't put the ball in danger. And he's thrown the ball, I think, 140 times. I was looking at this morning. He's thrown the ball 140 times, you guys. He's got 1 interception. I mean, that's at the college level in Lincoln's offense, which is really deep.
Yeah, that's
really
not just knowing
difficult.
The book. That's knowing where you got to put the ball and
that's having your receivers and tight ends. He's really good at manipulating the mic, manipulating the safeties. Like, he does not put the ball in danger very often, and he sees a lot of disguise. Hey, look, another terrible at bat for the Cubs from Matt
That is
Shaw.
just 3 awful at bats after getting a man on.
Oh, brutal. Let's see. Cubs got a hit. Bro, you're so lost on baseball. How about Nico Imaliava? I would tell you Domer compared to Arch Manning. I think I need to see Arch Manning because now we're getting into the testicles of the season for Texas.
Mm-hmm.
And I need to see Arch Manning have big games. I need to see Arch Manning become the reason that Texas finishes this season in the top 4 teams in the country, because we're getting into Florida, Oklahoma, and this is the 2-week stretch that makes or breaks Arch Manning's career at Texas, in my opinion. Because if he flames against Florida and Oklahoma, it's going to be awfully difficult for him to keep this job next year. And I don't even know what he becomes, because then you still got Georgia on the schedule, Arkansas, and A&M. I think this is an incredibly important 2-week stretch, and it starts this weekend in Florida. Because if he's the guy we saw against Sam Houston, against Florida, look out, because he made really good decisions against Sam Houston. I know you're like, oh, it's Sam Houston. The decisions were remarkably better. The hero ball went away. Tommy Castellanos is the best scrambling QB, but those guys don't win you big games. And we're seeing that. We're seeing Florida State regress to the mean now. We're starting to see that Alabama may have been the problem in the Alabama game for Florida State.
I don't think there's any question they were the problem, dude. That's one of the worst games they've played all year.
Yeah, I am wondering. I am wondering, what does it look like when we get to the bottom 50 quarterbacks, the Sam Levitts of the world? I'm taking CJ Carr. I look at Trinidad Chambliss as a guy you might want to start looking at. He isn't asked to throw the ball in leverage, which has got to be his next step. But you start looking at some of the guys at the bottom of this conversation, and I'm just like, I don't know, man. I think Tommy Castellanos does not throw the ball enough to be considered an elite quarterback in college football.
Couldn't agree more. Yep.
And that's so. Carr is a redshirt freshman. Joey Aguiar is a fifth-year sophomore player. What's that got to do with who you would rather have?
Well, because of the experience level.
Right.
That's why.
CJ Carr, in my opinion, is showing you that for the rest of this year, we'll see. The proof's in the pudding. There aren't many guys I'd take over CJ. Honest to God, getting into the numbers and looking at some of the, I like Aguiar a lot. I don't know. I wouldn't take him over CJ Carr. Josh Hoover at TCU is better than Carr. And I'm going to guess, James, you say a lot of ridiculous stuff. I'm going to guess you haven't seen much of CJ Carr. Morton at Tech is better. And exactly. Anybody that's telling you that Baron Morton is better than CJ Carr either hasn't diagnosed it or hasn't seen CJ Carr. And Baron Morton, he's so limited. He is a big play guy or he's not a play guy. And now most players make their biggest improvement between fresh and sophomore year. But Baron Morton's the same guy he's been.
Yeah, he hasn't made that much improvement.
I mean, have you, honest to God, when you say that Baron Morton is better than CJ Carr, it makes me think you haven't seen a single lick of CJ Carr this year. That's what I'm guessing. Texas has to prove they are elite. No, they don't. No, they don't. Texas is elite. Arch Manning's not elite. It's not Texas who's got to prove it. Arch Manning has to prove it. That's who's got to prove it. Arch Manning's got to prove it, not Texas. Let's see. Domer Wap agreed. Okay. Agreed with what? Bear takes BYU to 5-0, 32-13. Bear's been better than we all thought he would be, right? The problem is they're not asking him, and I've spent a lot of time on Bear Bachmeier, and they're not asking him to do complicated things. They are not, and his numbers bear that out. I mean, you guys understand they've played patsies, and I think he's at sub 700 yards and single-digit touchdowns. They're not asking him to do anything. And it's helping him. There's no doubt it's helping him. And you look at the Colorado game. The Colorado game was interesting because he put the ball in some really good spots, but he also ran the ball 15 times. And it'll be interesting to see what happens when he has a bad game, because it's coming. I don't think it'll be West Virginia or Arizona. I think you're much more likely against the three best defenses in the conference: Utah, Iowa State, and Texas Tech. That's when we figure out who Bear is. So
pretty straightforward.
We'll have to figure out how that plays. But I just thought it was interesting out of Brady Quinn. I certainly don't believe he's the best quarterback in the country.
No, but it's definitely good to see the improvement. That's the positive.
Top 7.
Yeah.
Top 7. I think the SEC, I'm interested to see what turns out to be the best quarterback league, because I think we all thought it would be the Big 12, and it certainly has not been. And I thought, and again, I don't want to make too much out of this. I don't. I thought Baron Morton would be considerably better than he has turned out to be this year.
Yeah, I thought he would look like a polished, hey, can read a defense, going to give the Utah defense trouble kind of quarterback.
Yeah.
And I don't really feel like that's what we saw at all. And yeah, that I do maintain that was kind of a weird game with all the turnovers, and just the whole vibe and flow of the game was weird. But like, he just didn't look. He didn't look good. That's what I'll say.
Well, and this is the Darian Mensah conundrum at Duke. Darian Mensah, nobody is watching him play football. And I think Darian Mensah has been better than people give him credit for. He's 13-2, right? So he throws the ball a lot. He's thrown the ball 175 times, doesn't turn it over. Darian Mensah is a hell of a quarterback, but he's playing at Duke. And nobody's seeing him, right? So I look at Garrett Nussmeier, who's only got 7 touchdowns. LSU's offense has been hugely disappointing. He's been disappointing, right? But if we go to guys that are playing really good football, it's not who we thought it would be. It's not Sam Leavitt. Like Sam Leavitt, I just feel like Sam Leavitt, that offense hasn't found itself yet. And the big plays out of that offense are what's winning them games. But I look at like a Joey Aguiar, he's having a hell of a year. I want him to turn the ball over less.
Agreed.
Right? I want him to be, I don't want him to be the gunslinger. It's all these guys. And it's why I keep going back to Fernando Mendoza. Now, again, Fernando really has not played anybody. And so I tell you to be tepid on guys who have had a soft schedule. And Old Dominion, Kennesaw State, Indiana State, Illinois, and Iowa is a pretty soft schedule. And the biggest problem is you were terrible against Iowa. He was not good because Iowa's got a really solid defense. So am I making too much? I don't think I am. I think that Fernando Mendoza is a legitimately elite quarterback in this game. Mm-hmm. So I could talk quarterbacks and ball all day long. I think CJ Carr is one of the 7 best quarterbacks in the country. I'm comfortable saying that. I'm rock solid. He's one of the 10 best quarterbacks in the country. And you took Jamison Tyone out and you go to the bullpen and now you've got 2 on and 2 out and the runners are at 2nd and 3rd. I'd have let Tyone go 1 more inning. And you have a closer in the 5th inning in a non-save situation for the Cubs. And I like Danny Palencia. I think he's a good closer. He's terrible in non-leverage situations. And I agree this is a high leverage situation, but he just left a fastball over the inside corner that got ripped into the left field corner. So
no damage given up yet. See if he can get a strikeout.
Well, now the problem is he's throwing 100-mile-an-hour fastballs down the middle of the plate to Fernando Tatis. So, I mean,
it's very simple. If he gets out of it, there's nothing to talk about. You give up a bomb here, now we got to talk about it.
And the Cubs bullpen has been really solid. 2-0, top of the 5th, 2 outs, 2 on for San Diego.
Dude, Tatis has a terrible approach right now, dude. The guy is all or nothing, just looking for a fastball down the middle.
But you cannot tell me he's going to throw him an inside heater right here. He's going to throw him an inside heater, and let's see if he can hit a spot. Because I have to think this goes inside. No, he goes low and away, 91.
As he should.
Non-competitive pitch. I hate it. Jackson Smith says Dante Moore is nice. He's very nice. Dante Moore. I think Dante Moore is And this, I think, is one of the arguments that we wind up having on the show on a regular basis. Who's the best quarterback in the country? Oh, boy. He's going to get out of it. He left a 100-mile-an-hour fastball down the middle at the letters, and it was a pop-out.
Hey, man, got out of it. Is what it is. 2-0 next inning.
Going to the bottom of the fifth. So,
yeah,
we'll see what comes of it. Are more teams? Do you think? If you look at, let me put this banner back up here. Let me put this AP top 25. If we just go through the top 10, moving in the right direction or not? Ohio State, no question.
Idle.
No, do you think they're just chilling?
I think they're just chilling. I don't think they're going up or down. They're just chilling.
Julian Sands getting better every snap, which I like. Oregon.
Right.
How can you not say a juggernaut? I mean,
nothing to talk about.
Miami. This is the one. I think this is one of the teams where you're like, do you guys believe that we know who Miami is?
Oh, I think we know who they are. I just think that I don't know, man. I still feel like because if they beat Florida State, you're basically home free to go undefeated.
Massive football game.
Yeah, I mean, if you can beat Florida State, you're home free. You're in the CFP, undefeated. You're good to go. So, I think.
But you understand, this is at Doak Campbell. I understand.
It's a difficult game. Yeah,
and they are. And here's the question: they're 6.5. Miami's a 6.5 point road favorite.
Mm-hmm.
Home dog. Touchdown home dog at Florida State. Oh, Tommy Castellanos. You see the cock on that guy? My God.
I don't think that's about Florida State, bro. I think that's about Miami. I think that the bettors, the boys in Vegas, are trying to set people up. Yeah, okay. They're trying to set people up to say, hey, yeah, I want to make money. I want to make money on on Florida State covering. That's what they want.
Okay. I think this is a massive moment in time for Mario Cristobal. And I think Miami's very good. I think Florida State, this is a proving ground. Because Florida State is probably who we thought they were last year. Just a little better. Right? Just a little better. They're certainly, the result is certainly better. But there's a couple of things that really stand out at Florida State. And when you start looking at the fact that Miami's got the number one defense in the conference, Florida State's got the fourth defense in the conference. And one of the things that I think is so interesting about the defense is that Florida State is third in the conference in pass defense. They've got 6 interceptions. They're only giving up 58% completions, and they've only given up 5 touchdowns. And they're giving up less than 200 yards through the air a game. Can Miami win if they throw for 160? If Carson Beck throws for 160 yards, I think Florida State's going to win the game. Honest to goodness, I think Florida State will win the game.
I don't know. I have a lot of confidence in that Miami run game. I think that offensive line, that they made a point against Florida because Florida's got a good defense. And, I mean, obviously it's never ideal if your quarterback goes 160, 17 of 24, kind of pedestrian game. But listen, if you can push Florida around, Florida State's definitely,
Did you see this Michael Bush base hit? Michael Bush is a left-handed hitter for the Cubs. He full swing a blooper that landed in fair territory behind third base, and the Padres were all pulled around to the right side. Base hit Michael Bush.
Hey, man, play the shift. Give it up.
Is this the thing that leads, and maybe this is it, is that the kind of weird, quirky moment that leads to a 4-run fifth inning for the Cubs? Because you're fully into the bullpen now for San Diego. Peralta's out there. And one of the best hitters in the National League, and Nico Horner's up. So this will be interesting. Nebraska Steve, Tommy Castellanos reminds me of NU's legendary Tommy Frazier. You're not wrong. You're not wrong at all. Man, if Tommy hadn't had the blood clots, Steve, how different is the legacy at Nebraska if Tommy doesn't get hurt like that? I mean, that is Stud Muffin says Miami 27-25. How entertaining would that game be? That would be wow, that blooper hit was amazing.
Yeah, did it get your device going? Is that why it's so amazing?
James, I appreciate the baseball talk. And as somebody rooting for the Padres, I appreciate it. Jim Choi, Tommy Frazier.
Sorry, go ahead. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, you're ahead of me very clearly by a second. And then Nico Horner grounds into a double play.
Hey, Monty, that's not the play that got them going.
No,
just in case you were wondering.
That's so frustrating. That is
brutal. Absolutely brutal.
Really brutal. All right, time for I Told You So Thursday on the Monty program while the Cubs piss away a playoff game. So Ross Dellinger, he works for Yahoo Sports, is reporting that the NCAA tournament will be expanded and that there will be a new round, an early round added to the NCAA tournament. 76 teams,
Monty, that seems familiar to me. Now, I was trying to rack my brain today about where the Monty Show viewers and all of Oak State James burner accounts might have heard the number 76 before.
Or
I just couldn't. Yeah, or 69 or 67, whatever it might be. But I just couldn't put it together.
I pretty much told you they would add an opening round and it'd be 76 teams. Oh my goodness. Ian Happ doubles to the left field wall. Fantastic. How about that? Ian Happ picking up Nico Horner when Happ couldn't put a bat on a ball. Phenomenal. Cubs up 2-0, bottom of the fifth. At Wrigley Field over the Padres, who are from San Diego. In the penultimate game 3 of the wild card series. The winner of this game heads to Milwaukee for an opener on Saturday in the division series. Don't forget the Dodgers and the Tigers, who beat the Cleveland Guardians today, are already through. I think this makes the most sense. They need more revenue. They need more TV money. This is what does it. You have another. That's why I said 76 is the number that works, and it gives you a new product to market to your TV partners because you have a whole new first round of the NCAA tournament. I hate that they're expanding the tournament.
Yeah,
I hate it.
I mean, a lot of those bubble teams are now going to get in, and we're still going to have bubble teams and everything. But I don't know, man. Things are changing. Whether it's the Super League, expanding the tournament. Oh, hold on. Hold the presses. Look who decided to show up finally. It's only Thursday, Penn State fan. It's only Thursday, and now you finally decided to show up, dude. Nice job.
Welcome to the show this week.
Yeah, nice job. What happened, bro? What happened?
Yeah, it was stadium guy Dana Marie says it was Monty. He told us so. Yes, it was. The real Oak State James says expanding the NCAA tournament is like Spaceballs 2, the search for more money. Money. Yeah, I don't think that I don't love the idea of expanding this tournament. I think at some point bigger is not better. Now, your mom disagrees. That's her right.
Can you measure it?
I am telling you that we don't need an expanded NCAA tournament. At some point, let's keep special. One shining moment, one shining knuckle deep at, average ass Drew Aller being terrible. That was one special moment this weekend for all of us to coalesce around and celebrate. We don't need more NCAA tournament teams.
No, we need more of average ass Aller throwing interceptions and average ass teams getting into the tournament apparently. Because that's all this is, dude.
Yeah, I really hope so. Oh, look. Kyle Tucker limply rolls out to second base. All right, I'll take $500 million.
Fuck
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
Fuck
Yeah,
you.
Kyle.
You suck.
No, you don't.
Keeping a buck
No,
right
you
now, we
don't.
ass.
No, you don't. No. So I'm glad we're not. Do you guys agree? In the comment section, do you want to expand the NCAA tournament? Do you think this is better? They're going to do it only for the money. I think that's very clear because I don't see a lot of people clamoring to expand the NCAA tournament. I'm not in favor of it.
I think that there's a lot of, panic might be harsh, but I do think there's a lot of hit the big red button behavior happening in college athletics over not making enough money. Like there are all these added costs now to the P&L sheet. And, frankly, if you're not a team that's thriving in athletics, it's kind of nervous time. And so you're trying to figure out, well, how can we make more money? How can we have more success? And, it's harder to win in football than it is in basketball. Basketball, there's 5 guys on the court. In football, there's 11 guys on the field, depending on, which side of the ball we're playing. So I just, it's just bad. I feel like people look at basketball and they say, okay, cool, we can turn this around in 1 year. We just got to have money. And so let's expand the tournament. That's what this is. I agree. It's a money grab. And I wish that 64 was the number, but obviously they're going to expand it. So we get
76 has always been the right number. It's always been the sweet spot. It is, again, what's good for TV is good for your ad partners. It's good for the boys in Vegas. It's good for the boys in New York because they get to, everybody wins.
But isn't this a conundrum? Isn't this a conundrum though with the CFP, the tournament? Hey, if we're going to do 76, if we're going to do 16, let's talk about 20. Let's talk about 84. I just feel like there's no, I agree completely with you that 76 is a great number. It's a sweet spot. It works. Everyone's happy. Okay, great. But at some point, as again, whether we're talking about gas prices or running college athletics, everything seems to be getting more expensive. So
it is.
I'm just telling you, I'm not really here for this run of, expansion that we seem to be going on with the CFP and the tournament. And I think that at some point there needs to be, cap is the wrong word, but there's got to be some respect for, hey, getting to the postseason is actually a special thing. And you had to be good and you actually had to play good basketball to get in. I don't want to see a 500 team getting into the tournament, but that's what we're going to get now.
No, I would agree with that. I think that is what you're going to get now. And you're going to get beat when you leave Danny Palencia in the game for another inning. But I'm not the manager of the Cubs. I'm just little old Monty, the talk show host. And Dansby Swanson is a stud, dude. Oh, my goodness.
Hell of a play. Good. Hell of a play.
Danny, get the ball down, my guy. All right, let's get your comments on the NCAA tournament. The butthole of real Stadium James. The tournament expanding means that Garbo Buckeyes can lose a couple of more games and still barely miss the dance. There you go.
Janus.
There you go. Oh,
dude.
God. Go to Scoop if you want to talk ball. They can't handle it, dude, because you're a red ass. You see, and I think I love that viewers come to our channel because you're not going to get banned. But don't make that think we like you. Because you come in here and you say ridiculous things and you don't want to be held accountable for them. You're no better than Ferris. You're no better than the fact that you support Penn State sports is disgusting. The fact that you want to talk about how, average ass Aller is the best quarterback in the NFL draft. It tells me you don't want to have a real discussion. You want to say great things about people who facilitate child sexual assault. I'm not here for it.
And then when you lose the biggest game of the season, you don't come in until Thursday, halfway through the show.
Yeah. And nobody wants you on Scoop. Nobody. Right? We're all in business. We're all here to make money. And it's guys like you who come in and ruin comment sections because you don't want to have truthful conversations about what a bunch of absolute POSs you have in your football department, including James Franklin, who facilitates sexual assault, in my opinion. Did it at Vandy, doing it here. Micah Parsons. Just go Google search Micah Parsons, Penn State sexual assault. See what you get. See what you get. Yeah, but you don't want to talk about that. You just want to insult people. So, you guys are making money a little bit. My business is not your business. So, and then he walks Manny Machado. You bring the tying run to the plate because you didn't want to pitch to Machado, which means you shouldn't be in the game. You can just feel it. You can just feel it coming.
And this guy, you don't want to face this guy.
And they're going to bring in Pomerantz to face Merrill, which is exactly what you should do. So, Joey
They're not. They're letting him. Oh my God, Craig.
Double play. Wow.
He got away with one there.
And did you see where that pitch was?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my, that's one where velocity wins. Oh, absolutely he did. That's where velocity wins, and Dansby Swanson's a stud, dude. Yeah. Absolutely. 180K subscribers. Congratulations, Monty and Jake. Appreciate that. James, shut up. You're not rooting for the Cubs. You're not going to Preston Stones cock this. We're not having it. You're not Mike Gundy and Ollie Gordon.
Monty, I love me some Dansby Swanson. It's really quite delicious. You should try it.
I'm not playing your games today. Gabriel, the Cubs are on fire right now. Well, again, but isn't this who the Cubs are? The Cubs are a team that is not consistently putting together good at-bats and is getting consistently good pitching.
Yeah.
I just want you to be happy. I am happy when you don't root for the Cubs.
Yeah, because again, you have a whole black book full of guys you rooted for and you said who were going to have a great season. And now they got, bounced from their original team and had to go to, Tulane. They got hurt. They got cut. Like, I mean, how many examples, dude? Like, how many examples of guys you named and said, oh, they're the best in the country, Monty. And then they got pulled over for DUI and then their head coach got fired a season later. I mean, come on, bro. Come
on. Johnny Gonzalez, let's go Cubs. James, keep cheering for Swan Song Daxby's. Exactly.
Yay.
The Cubs. How's my James impersonation? Spot on.
Yeah, really good, dude.
ACC West Coast Commissioner Gumby, we need James to root for Duke this weekend. Yes, you do.
Yeah, Duke is Duke.
Duke is Duke. Duke is Duke. Duke is Duke. Let's come back and switch gears, talk NFL. We've got a big game tonight. Jake, do you still hate Thursday night football? I know you used to just absolutely despise it.
Well, I hate the ass matchups we get on Thursday night football. Now, fortunately, our matchup this evening is obviously pretty good, but we haven't had the garbage, Panthers, Texans matchup yet. So when we get to that portion of the schedule, then I'll probably complain.
All right, let's come back and get you prize picks for tonight. And then should Brock Purdy, get in the comment section right now, should Brock Purdy lose his job in San Francisco because he's not playing tonight? It's Mac Jones. And I think I can make an argument Mac Jones is better than Brock Purdy next.
Yo, you think Dallas' Power 4 going to drop 30 tomorrow?
Boy, you tripping.
Did you see his mom made a post about going to the game?
What? Hold up. His mama gonna be there?
He's been averaging like 34 points a game when she's there.
At least 40 when she be on that Jumbotron.
He don't like to let his mama down.
Pick more, pick less. It's that easy. Cash in on your sports fandom with Prize Picks.
Prize Picks, the official daily fantasy partner of the Monty Show. Make sure you download the Prize Picks app. Use the promo code Monty to open a new Prize Picks account. We make money on that. Do you guys make money? Only when you open up a new Prize Picks account using the promo code Monty. You deposit $5, you get 50 more instantly. And interesting tonight, Mac Jones is 216.5 passing yards. And I don't know how you don't take more on that. I think you got to go more on Mac Jones. I think you have to go less on Christian McCaffrey, 60.5 rushing yards. And then I think you got to take more on Puka Nacua. Jake, where do you come down? Is Puka? Because there's a couple of numbers here that are interesting to me. 11 targets. I think you got to go more on targets. 11 targets.
Yeah, I mean, the targets thing is probably a safe one just because it's not receptions, it's just targets. So, I mean, that opens it up a little bit. But I got to tell you, the one that I feel better about is Devontae for a touchdown. I mean, him and Stafford have just been torching. You know,
it's been a good relationship.
Yeah. So, I mean, to me, I feel like Devontae for a touchdown, they're giving that to you as a demon as well. I feel like that one's pretty reliable. You know, in any time when the Niners aren't all that good right now, you know, they're not what they used to be. I think that there's obviously this game's in LA. So I just think that Devontae for a touchdown should be pretty reliable. This Mac Jones number 216.5 is
love it.
Yeah, I mean, it should be pretty good. I mean, it really should be.
Without Bosa, their pass rush has been.
Yeah, I mean, it should be pretty reliable. And then
I think with post Joey Bosa, their pass rush has been one of the 3 worst in the NFL.
Yeah.
Let that sink in. That's how good Bosa is. And that's how much he meant to their pass rush. So I think you got to take the over on Mac Jones.
Yeah, I'm taking it. I'm with you.
Yeah.
Open up. What do we got for kickers? Sorry. What do we got for kickers here?
We got
to take kickers, dude.
You just kick things.
That's right.
You love your kickers.
Yes, I do. Yes.
Carson Kelly has been such a pivotal bat for the Cubs. Another base hit, bottom of the 6th, Cubs 2, Padres nothing. Carson Kelly on first, PCA, and then Dansby Swanson. So another opportunity. Can the Cubs put in at bat together? I don't love the kickers in this game.
Eddie Pinheiro, more than 7 kicking points. That's it. Don't love the Rams kicker.
That's not very many.
Nope. And put you in a good spot. 20 to win 60. We're good to go. Flex play.
Okay. Always flex play. 3 picks, flex play, which means you only need 2 or 3 to pay to win. You get paid if you hit 2 or 3. That's how you win at Prize Picks. Oh my God. Breaking news. Pete Crow Armstrong laid off a high fastball.
Wow. Buddy watched the tape and finally understood he had to lay off. Who knew?
This is such a huge moment in time right here. I mean, when he swings at balls in the zone, dude, let's go. He's actually showing this isn't at bat now.
Yeah, it's a good at bat now.
This isn't at bat now. It's a 6-pitch at bat and a 3-2 count. And Wrigley is on its feet. Man, I wish you hadn't been a coward and we'd have gone to these games. This is a huge moment in time for PCA. Oh,
had to defend that one.
Johnny Gonzalez, after the Cubs win tonight, we have the entire next series for Stadium James to watch his favorite baseball team. You shut your mouth.
Stop.
You shut your mouth.
Shut up, dude. We don't need that.
Shut the fuck up, Donnie.
You shut your mouth. It is not good.
Shut the fuck up, Donnie.
Yeah, don't you say things like that. PCA, let's go. Base hit. 2 on, 1 out, bottom of the 6th.
Good at bat.
Very good at bat.
See what I mean? When they have good at bats, this is a really good team.
They did because Pete Crow Armstrong didn't try to do too much there. I'm telling you right now, that you've got to capitalize on this. Let his hands hold, kept his hands back, let the ball travel, banged it into the right field gap. Let's go. 1st and 2nd, 1 out. Can Dansby not, for once in his ever-loving Gold Glove life, bounce into a double play with runners on 1st and 2nd?
I don't know. I don't know if I don't quite know how to answer that, to be honest.
This ball has to go through the first base hole.
Yeah.
This ball has to go to the right
approach.
side.
Okay,
Has
pitched
to.
him in. Yeah,
And
Oppo approach here.
Suarez has not been in the zone. So you have got to, this ball has to go the other way. This is such a big moment.
Yes.
This is, come on, let's go.
Come on, baby. Come on, baby.
This is why somebody needs to call me, and he swings at a ball. Again,
Yeah,
that would have been.
He tried to lose that one. He tried to lose that one.
99 in her half. He should have taken it.
Yeah.
And what you do with grow up. What you do with your balls, is really important. So
yeah, that was a James left nutsack joke. You know.
And then he swings at a pitch in the dirt.
Well, it's a nice season, Monty. You know.
It's just gonna like this guy can't throw a strike and they won't stop swinging. I'll never understand it. Hit this ball to the right side, Dansby. And he swings and misses. And another ball that's honestly, this is
terrible at bat, bro.
I'll just continue to say this. This is who this team is. This is who this team is. And I'm not saying it's easy to put a bat on a major league pitcher.
They're a professional hitter, dude. You got to be better than that.
You've swung at 3 balls out of the zone to end your at bat, and now you're first and second with 2 outs in the bottom of the 6th with a 2-0 lead. And a 2-run lead in baseball is not a lead at all. And now Matt Shaw has had 2 terrible at bats. And where do they go? Fastball outside. Did he swing? No. But I'm just telling you. You know, what do you mean, doofus?
Yeah, what does that mean, dude?
You know. Who's winning New Mexico State versus Houston State game tonight? Your mom.
Oh man, I'm just so excited that that game is on.
What's an erection?
Yeah, as long as James keeps the Tigers out of your mouth, you guys will never lose another game. You know, I am. Come on, Matt. Nope.
Yeah. Good
He's
eye
not
there.
swinging at the ball away. And I'll give him credit. He's not swinging at the ball away. Brock Purdy versus Mac Jones. Go, Jake.
Yeah, I mean, I think that the hard part is you gave this guy the contract, and so now there's an obligation to play him, but he's not playing well, and he's going through this injury, and Mac Jones is playing well. So, again, I'm just going to keep saying it. I don't care if his fingernail hurts. You're not playing him, and the excuse is that he's hurt. That's the situation. And you need to find a week where it's not the Rams or a good team. And let me get their schedule real quick. Let's see. Yeah, you got the Rams this week, Bucks next week, then the Falcons. Bring him back for the Falcons game.
Missed 100-mile-an-hour fastball at the knees. 3-2 to Matt Shaw. He's going to throw that split down, and this inning's going to come to an end.
Is this his last at-bat of the year? 6th inning, elimination game.
That's tough.
And
he swung.
you struck out.
Blew it right by him.
You're just
blew it right by him,
dude.
Absolutely.
That is a bad at bat, dude.
And the Oak State James curse is in full effect.
We keeping a buck right now. We ass.
That is an ass at bat, dude. Be better,
breaking news, and it's significant out of the NFL. By a 7-0 vote, the Nevada Supreme Court unanimously rejected the NFL's petition to rehear its decision granting John Gruden discovery in his lawsuit against Roger Goodell and the NFL on leaked emails.
Oh, bro.
This is a huge moment in time because this means because I don't even know how you settle this with John Gruden.
Oh, I know. You're going to pay him as much as it's going to take. That's how.
This is going to,
dude,
this is going to be wild because now I have to assume John Gruden's going to get aggressive in discovery. And this is going to put the NFL in a real bad spot because there's a lot of questions and wonderment about who knew what and how they knew it and when they knew it. And
well, how much have they covered up? Who all is involved, right?
And was it a scheme to get John Gruden to be the scapegoat, to try and save Dan Snyder? Is that what this was? Like, what was the ultimate goal of leaking those emails?
Yeah, I think this Gruden conversation is really compelling. I think that the NFL is notorious for covering things up, right? Burying things, throwing it under the carpet, right? Time and time again. Oh, yeah, there's nothing there. We didn't find anything. We didn't, right? Like, we're going to cover this up publicly and handle it privately. That's been their you know, what's the old saying? Modus operandi. Their way
Nobody
of doing
will ever
business.
know.
Yeah, nobody will ever know. Who's going to find out? We're billionaires. What are they going to do?
How will they know? Nobody's going to know.
And again, everyone's like, oh, well, Raj is the best commissioner in all of sports. Yeah, you're damn right he is. Elite operator, elite ability to handle situations, elite ability, excuse me, to operate in really tough environments and keep owners out of trouble. And for that, I'd be paying him hundreds of millions of dollars too. Frankly, I would be. And this is just another one of those situations. And it's another one of those things where we're going to get to figure out what boardroom meeting was had between the owners where they agreed to do whatever it takes to keep Dan Snyder out of the news because they knew what was good for them as a league. Because that's what this is, in my opinion. You had opportunity as a ownership group to cut ties with Dan Snyder, and you refused to. And you had opportunity to take the high road, and you didn't. And now the guy who has basically been blackballed out of the league over the emails is now coming back to bite you in the ass, and is probably going to pick up an SEC job. So good luck.
Palencia is still in the game for the Cubs. 19 pitches, and he's still in the game for the Cubs. And maybe this is why I'm not a manager. I don't know. Do you think John Gruden ever coaches in the NFL again?
No.
Neither do I.
I think he's going to be a prolific SEC coach in some form or fashion.
You think he gets an SEC head job?
Oh yeah. Now that this was ruled on, now I think people can definitively say, hey, unanimously, they said, no, we're not holding up John Gruden. There's enough here. And while what John said in those emails was not good, it's pretty clear that there's a bigger story here. And I also think it's pretty clear that most people are going to say, yeah, you know what? This guy didn't kill anybody. Yeah, he made a racist remark. Not cool. But how long until he gets a second chance? How long has it been? A decade? More than that? I'd have to go and look.
And Palencia hangs a slider and gives up a base hit. And now Craig Counsell is going to take him out of the game. Bring in a guy to face the tying run at the plate. Okay. And now it's Drew Pomerantz. Okay. What are you guys calling each other names? What are we doing? The real stadium guy, James, I agree with Jake. Now, if I were Florida, I could get Gruden as a... No, you can't. Do you think Florida, you think Florida can take a risk? You'd hire John Gruden over Lane Kiffin with no coaching experience, no recruiting experience, nothing at the college level. You'd hire John Gruden.
No.
You're out of your mind.
OC? Yes.
I think it is. I think it's incredibly difficult to overlook. And maybe I am wrong. I think it's incredibly difficult. I think it's incredibly difficult to overlook what John Gruden put in those emails. I don't know how you do it when you're talking about racist, homophobic, misogynistic, like the worst of the worst. I don't know. I don't know how you do that. And I agree that I agree that he probably got screwed. But you also put some words out that I don't know that I would have used.
Yeah, look, I listen, he said what he said, right? And there's no getting away from that. We don't need to defend it or justify it or anything like that. We don't need to discuss the merits of what he said. The conversation is, how long should the guy have to be in, public prison, if you will, over what he said in the emails, right? Because I think we're more than happy to accept the apology. I think most people have moved on, and we're more than happy to watch his Barstool content. And, we're more than happy to enjoy Jackson Dart and Will Howard and all these guys going on his quarterback room show or whatever for Barstool. But God forbid, the moment he takes an OC job, now we got a problem and he's the worst guy we've ever seen. So the hypocrisy needs to be called out a little bit, and people need to understand that I agree as part of if you're going to hire him, part of that process needs to be him publicly in a media session saying, hey, yeah, I'm accountable to what I said in those emails. That was a mistake. I apologize, and I've been accountable to that for however many years it's been. And
15 years.
15 years now, I've paid a penalty for it, and I'm really sorry. But at the same time,
a lot of people get it wrong. He was not employed by the NFL when he sent the emails. The emails came out when he was employed by the NFL. What was that, 2018? The emails were sent when he was an analyst at ESPN in 2010. Mm-hmm. And he made really terrible comments about DeMaurice Smith, who at the time was the head of the NFLPA. He made some really rough comments about Michael Sam. Obviously Michael Sam was the first gay football player. Just really, really terrible things. And you can't forget that. And you have to remember that I just don't think there's any route for him back to the NFL.
But I don't know if he wants to go back to the NFL. I don't think that John is hell-bent on getting back to where he was. I honestly believe that the guy truly enjoys the college game and coaching kids. Like, I really do think he enjoys it. And there's a lot of passion there. And what's difficult here is the PR game. Nobody doubts John's ability X's and O's wise. Nobody doubts, his ability to coach a kid or any of that, right? Like, that's not in question. What's in question is, what does it look like if Florida hires Lane Kiffin and then Lane wants to hire Gruden as his OC, just as a, random example? Well, you got to then have a conversation, because Florida has a checkered ass past with their head coaches and players doing awful things off the field, right? So now we're going to have a conversation of like, hey, well, we all know what happened under Urban, and we how are we going to prevent John from facilitating that kind of culture, right? Even though, to your point, he wasn't an NFL employee. Those are the conversations that are going to be had. But again, as usual, this is an opportunity to be proactive. If John gets hired, and the first announcement, because here's how it should be played. If he gets hired, before anybody knows, you should have a press conference. Hey, Florida's got an announcement to make. Announce that he's been hired. John takes the mic. John says, hey, this is the situation. I've been out of football in an official capacity for 15 years. I am super, excited about this opportunity to be Florida's offensive coordinator, and I'm grateful to Lane for hiring me. But I want to address, obviously, the elephant in the room. And then go on and say the things you need to say, and then be proactive. Hey, we're going to do work in the community. Hey, we're going to do all these different things to be a positive impact. We're going to take my past and we're going to use it to positively impact the now. If you do that, it will be fine. But I think people are really scared to hire him because they think like that's not possible. And I just disagree. Like, dude, we with all due respect, like other people who have done worse things have gone on to get other jobs, right? Like, point to whoever you want to, but this is hardly the worst thing we've seen in the world. No, but I don't think we're comparing criminals here. A crime is a crime, and
you can't just say what you want to say. Words have consequences, and I think we've seen that. And I think John Gruden can really coach football. I don't think you can hire him right out of the gate as a head coach at the college level. It just doesn't work that way. All right, what do you guys think about it? Johnny Gonzalez, Kiffin to Florida and Oregon to Orgeron to Ole Miss. Ed Orgeron said today he wants to coach again, so we'll see. I'd put Gruden on the staff. He's smart, but why can't he coach? He can coach. I just don't think he can make him your head coach.
He can't be the face of your team. That can't happen.
Correct.
That's unacceptable.
Correct. Free speech, Monty. Oh, free speech now, says the Trump guy. What about Jimmy Kimmel's free speech? He's not allowed to say what he said? That's free speech, but you remember when you lied and said he got fired? And oh man, Monty, you don't get free speech is a fallacy in this country. It's not real. And you can say whatever you want to say. Your words have consequences. It's as simple as that. It is as simple as that. So I just don't. I mean, you make the kind of racist, anti-gay, homophobic, misogynistic comments he made. You're not going to coach at the NFL level. I don't see anyway.
Yeah, and I think there's immeasurable consequences. It's unknown.
Yes.
Like when you say those things, it's unknown how long you'll be out of the game. What if you will ever coach again? If you will ever get that opportunity. And that's why I say, like, 15 years. I mean, that's a long time, right? Times have changed. Theoretically, he's changed. Like, it just depends on who's willing to take a risk. That's the thing.
Wow, what a play by Nico Horner to save the Cubs. Man alive. The Cubs are living on the edge, dude. And now you've got 2 outs, top of the 7th with Bogarts on second. And Nico Horner needed every inch of his 5'1" body to make that play. The Kimmel stunt was organized. Right. Okay. Jim, enjoy anonymity because we'll never read another one of your comments. What a catch by Nico. Stop. Stud Muffin. You can't yell fire in a crowded movie theater. You can't. Words have consequences. And I think John Gruden is well aware that you can't just say anything you want to say without repercussions. The problem is what guys still don't understand is you have to say behind the scenes what you'd say in front of everybody when you're a guy at that level. We can all say whatever we want, behind closed doors, because who are we? We don't mean anything, right? We just don't mean anything. Guys like John Gruden, you don't get that opportunity with a lot of I just think with that much opportunity and that kind of stature, there's a lot of responsibility that comes with your words. Yep. And I just think that when and I'm not surprised somebody like Wasikowski saying that Gruden said nothing wrong. And what John Gruden said was disgusting. There's no way to spin that or defend that. There's just no way to defend that.
Yeah, that's fact.
And being a racist, being a misogynist, which is anti-women, being homophobic, there's no way to defend that. And there's no way to spin that. And I think that's the hard part for people, is that people want to, people don't want to own up to the things they've done. And I think what John Gruden said and how the NFL handled it are two different things. The NFL probably is going to find themselves cutting a check at some point. Gabriel nailed it right on the head, Monty. Once you're in a powerful position, it's hard to talk behind people's backs without it being exposed. This is what it is, right? And especially when it's hateful language, hate speech. And the thing he said about DeMaurice Smith is there's no way not to construe that as racist and
hateful.
Like, that's the hard part, is what he said was terrible. What he said was terrible.
And, I also think for some people, what makes that worse is he said that, and I'd have to go back and read the email again, but I remember the spin on it was, hey, well, he was just joking, right? When it came out, I remember the whole narrative was, he was just joking. And
he said something to because it was right at the lockout, the NFL lockout. And he said something like, I was frustrated or I was angry. I'm not directly quoting John, but if my memory serves, he said I was frustrated or angry. And well, and people forget there's a little bit of truth in every joke, right? Like, and the fact that he resigned, it's just rough. It's the whole thing sucks. Remember, because he was making $100 million.
Yeah,
he
bro. He was a star, bro. He had
a $100 million contract.
Yeah. I mean, absolute star, dude.
Yeah. Tua Tagovailoa. Let's talk about quarterbacks and their brains. I'm just going to play this bite, and I want you guys to react to it.
Brain, I guess everyone would be wondering, how did I feel on that hit and whatnot? Felt perfectly fine, felt great. Throughout the years, that was one of the bigger things we hadn't addressed, was making sure that I got, a good amount of carbs in my body, and, so that as I drank water or as I drank the right stuff or whatever it was, the doctors were talking about the liquid that your brain sits in and all of that. But I guess for me, from what I come to know or come to understand from what the doctors were talking about, is, your brain kind of sits in fluids. And, if I'm eating eggs, bacon, and sausage, and there's not much carbs, like if there's no bread or whatnot, you kind of drink water and it'll just flush out of you. So you can't stay hydrated that way. But the carbs kind of help soak that in and stay there.
Get out! Get out! Woohoo! 3-0 Cubs. Michael Bush goes yard. Huge. It's not the carbs, Tua.
No.
It's not the carbs. And I agree, hydration's huge. It's not the carbohydrates, bud. It's not the carbs.
Yeah, I just think, Tua, listen, I'm glad that he seems to be taking it a little more seriously. But I don't know. That whole situation's a disaster. And I'm not going to sit here and say that it's all on Mike, because I don't feel like it is. It's partially on Mike, but the culture is just trash. And that's why they're terrible. And Tua's good enough to play in the league. He's not a Super Bowl winner. He's an average ass quarterback that gets paid a lot of money. And that's about it.
Yeah, I totally agree. And that situation in Miami is falling apart. And I don't know, are you fixing that, or is that you're just making a coaching change?
Yeah, I just think you're making a coaching change. You're just going to light that thing on fire and start over. Like, I just think you got to burn that down.
And now you got to make a pitching change, because Suarez is falling apart for the Padres. 3-0, bottom of the 7th, nobody out. Horner doubles off the right field wall. Runner on second, nobody out. And Suarez has thrown 31 pitches. And everything is moving right back to the middle of the plate. So I don't know. This is a huge moment again for the Cubs. You have a real chance to put this game away. You put 5-6 runs up on the board, you have a real chance to put this game away.
Yeah.
And here comes Schilt to make a pitching change. So
3-0
Cubs, bottom of the 7th, nobody out. And then there's Cam Ward. Oh, Monty Show, and he's immature. He's immature. Okay. Well, what about he's ass guy? What about we ass? What about, hey, my quarterback melted down and we ass?
We're keeping a buck right now, we ass. So we 0-4. We have, this one we got nothing to lose. We dropped a quarter of our fucking games and we've yet to do anything. So we have to lock in, especially myself on the offensive line, from the defensive line, from the special teams to all three faces. We have to play together. We have not played together this year yet. And that's just something that, we want to preach about it every day. Every day we got to do better, and we're doing that, but it has to show up on Sundays. It hasn't showed up yet, but it got to show up next week.
Oh, you got to bench him. You got to cut him. He's gone. He's just so immature.
No, that's not the narrative, Monty.
Oh,
The narrative today was, or before today, was that Cam was a leader. And
he's
that
just
he
telling
should be
the truth.
applauded. He's telling the truth. What maturity. What a great guy.
Deion Sanders, what an asshole. Cam Ward, his dad's a great maker of men.
He's still he's a young player. You know, he's the number 1 overall pick. He's the face of the franchise, if you will. He's got high expectations for himself. We have high expectations around him, and we all want to meet those. And his ability to be in that spotlight in that moment, I think, is a growing process for him. I think he's growing up. I think he's starting to understand the weight of his words, what those things mean when he speaks and everyone's listening and watching. And then even though he says, he follows up the commentary with a lot of the right things, it's the one-liner that gets taken. And he's learning how to deal with you guys and how to understand how to have those conversations and still, maintain the image that he wants to maintain as a starting quarterback. So growing up is not always easy, and I think there's some things that he's learning along the way, just like we all do.
Oh, you got to cut him. I don't even know why he's still on the roster. Oh, so I keep getting it confused with Shedeur, who you all said was immature. And now, is what Shedeur said justifiable? Absolutely, it's not. Absolutely,
well,
it's
Monty,
not.
I'm a little confused because Shedeur didn't say anything. If you watch the video,
well,
that was
true.
the confusion. He was a little quiet.
Inexcusable. Totally agree. It's inexcusable. Judge Cam Ward the same way. These guys are young quarterbacks. What did I say about Shedeur? They're not getting media training because they're and listen, I think that Brian Callahan's a really good head coach. That's a head coach of the Titans you heard from right there. I think he's a really good head coach. I think he's doing a decent job with that team. Cam Ward needs media training. Shedeur Sanders needs media training. And these guys are not used to being 0-4. They're not used to, or 0-3 or whatever. They're not used to being third string. Yeah, they're not used to being ass. They're not used to being third string. They're just not used to this stuff. And as harshly as you, dude, shut up. Do you think I'm not do you think I'm not watching the game?
Shut the fuck up, Donnie.
Like, stop. You're not a Cubs fan. You're not a Cubs fan.
You're not a Cubs fan, dude.
Stop. I just think it's amazing that we won't judge Cam Ward on the same level as Shedeur Sanders.
Yeah, and the truth is, sorry not to cut you off, but the truth is Cam Ward's the number 1 overall pick in his class, right? Cam Ward's the undisputed starter in the face of this organization. The criticism should be heavier for Cam Ward than it should be for a 5th-round pick who hasn't played a snap in the NFL, right? In the regular season, that is, obviously preseason. So I don't want to hear that, this isn't the same thing, or somehow, Cam's a better guy than Shedeur. I don't want to hear any of that nonsense, dude. This is the number 1 overall pick in the draft, playing on the Titans, and I respect him for speaking his mind, but the reality is you can't drop an F-bomb and call your team ass as the quarterback. You can't do that. That's not the right way to go about it. Now, again, you want to say that privately? You want to say that in your meetings? Knock yourself out, dude. Be a leader. Hold people accountable. That's absolutely true.
James?
Yeah, this is your fault, dude.
I'm going to ban you, James. That's
absolutely your fault.
I'm banning you.
And your 87 burners.
Nico Horner gets thrown out at the plate. Because the Cubs have a runner on third. Ooh, was he safe? I think he overswung. He's safe. Wow.
I don't know. We need a different angle.
Wow.
It's hard to tell.
They're going to review it.
Yeah, you need a different angle. I don't think you can just...
Yeah, I think he's safe.
You need the back angle.
The catcher, Nico Horner, slid headfirst Superman style into the plate.
Dude, James, shut your mouth, dude. Don't tell us he's safe, because he's not going to be safe then, dude.
Dude, do you understand, James, that everything you touch dies? When you Preston Stone's cock, Ollie Gordon's NFL career, all of it. The great coordinators at Oak State, like, just relax. I think
I do think that you might be right.
I think Fermin overswung. He missed Nico's front arm.
He's safe. He is safe.
Yeah, he missed Nico's front arm, and I think Nico beat it under it.
The oven mitt was on the plate.
In case you missed it, James said he is safe. Yes, he did. Thank you.
Why don't you fuck off?
James is the opposite of Midas right now. His entire football fandom on this show.
Now, listen, if he's safe, now is all forgiven?
No. James is absolutely the Grim Reaper of sports on this show. There's no doubt about it. He's safe. Of course he's safe. James told you. Thank you. Thank you. This is incredible.
Y'all reading all this cap ass.
Yeah, I can't tell you guys how crucial. He's safe right there. He hasn't touched. He's safe.
Yeah, he's safe, dude.
Preston Stone's phallic symbol grazed the corner of the plate. And, James can be right more often than you give him credit for. Yeah, he can be.
Shut the fuck
He can be.
But he's not.
Out.
Lifetime ban. Lifetime ban, dude. I'm over it. I'm done. Play the Cam Ward bite, dude. I'm done. That's an absolutely ass thing of James to do. That is, dude. Bro.
Just listen to the crowd. What's the crowd know?
We're listening to you jinx that call. That's what we're listening to, bro.
The Cubs just lost the game, James.
Look, right now we ass.
Yeah, thanks, dude. Thanks, bro. Let me get into YouTube and ban your ass for the life of the show. Unbelievable, bro. Like, unbelievable.
And now there's 2 out and 1 on. And say I'd better go deep. The only way that your butt buzzer doesn't get absolutely ripped out in one fell swoop is if he goes deep right here.
Take you a deuce. You don't sit there and look at it. You flush it and move on.
No, you don't.
Awesome.
All right, James. I appreciate everything you've done for
dude.
I appreciate everything you've done for the show. Well, not really,
And I'll
because
see
you just
you in Valhalla.
Yeah, I'll see you in Valhalla because you just destroyed the Cubs season.
What a joke.
You just destroyed the Cubs season. You absolutely destroyed the Cubs season.
I mean,
hey, you guys said he was safe. Don't blame James. Not my fault. James is the one out here. I'm not the one.
We're not the ones that are cursed, dude. What do you mean, Mike? We're not the ones that are cursed.
I'm not the one out here Retzloffing the Chicago Cubs.
Yeah, like,
that's
what
James.
The hell, dude?
That's James. That's not me. That's James.
That's who you're going home with, Mike. You want to be on James's side on this? Come on, dude.
Yeah, James. I do, because the minute you said something, they all of a sudden he was out.
I don't regret those decisions.
See, this is the thing. When you don't speak, he would have been safe. But when you speak, you put death into the sports ethos, and all of a sudden, Nico Horner's out. So, and again, it's stuff like this that tells me you're not a baseball fan.
Shut the fuck up, Donnie.
Because a 3-run home run is pretty cash, dude. Pretty cash. Sorry, I'd stuck up for James. Okay, well, I wouldn't stuck up anything in James.
He's got a lot stuck up there already, bro.
Is James a secret Padre fan? Ask Trevor Bauer. Ask Trevor Bauer. Christine says I stand with James. You're a cat guy. You're a cat guy. What would I expect from you? What would I expect from you?
I mean, it's honestly embarrassing, dude. I mean, how do we sit here? It's October. We're watching Cubs baseball, and you're sitting here saying that he's safe, trying to be cool kid on the block and agree with the guys. And we all know that you are the great blacklister, dude. You are the great destroyer of anything good in sports.
Okay. Jake, have you seen the Kim K and Ray J tape?
No. No,
Should?
I've chosen not to watch it.
Okay, baseline question. Give me 2 minutes so I can pee on Kim K. Hot or not? Go.
Yeah, I mean, listen, dude, I don't think we can say Kim K is hot. I think that Kim K has been the icon, I guess, of beauty in this country for how long, right? Obviously has gone through several versions, different looks. I mean, I just can't get down with who's shopped at the store. And it's the age-old discussion. Yes, we've had it before. No, I've not seen the Ray J tape. No, I'm not interested in watching it and going through that, experiencing that, putting that into my sphere. No, I'm not interested, dude. And what's really difficult is that the whole Kanye thing. See, Kim K and Kanye were like this power couple culturally. And then, frankly and sadly, Kanye melted down, dude. And it's really sad because Kanye in the 2000s was awesome, right? Absolute rager of an artist, awesome music, was what him and Jay-Z were everything. And then that whole thing kind of just disappeared. And Kanye started going by Ye, and now we are where we are. And it's really sad, honestly. Like the Kim K situation is really rough, and I think she deserves a lot of credit for how she handled the Kanye meltdown. And
hey, James, base hit for Mean. Padres get the leadoff hitter on. Here comes that 3-run home run I warned you about.
Well, Monty, the Cubs are still up 3-0, so we're in a good place, okay?
This Kim K thing is crazy. So you guys may know this. Kim K is now suing Ray J for defamation, and it has nothing to do with the tape. This is because Ray J said that Kim Kardashian and Kris Jenner were under federal indictment for racketeering. And the defamation lawsuit, which was filed in LA, goes to this Ray Norwood Jr., Ray J, falsely claimed that he was working with federal investigators on a racketeering case against them that will soon lead to their indictment. The lawsuit says Ray J comments are a part of a sustained campaign of harassment and defamation that's gone on for years. Here's the problem.
Here's the deal
is I have more Liquid Death, and this is my last can of Liquid Death.
So I said, yeah.
Which is also the name for Oak State James with his butt buzzer, Liquid Death.
Physiologically, it's a non-starter.
My point is, this is wild with Kim K. But what you can't get away from is Ray J made you. That sex tape with Ray J made you. It's the only reason, in my opinion, you got a reality show.
Mm-hmm.
Your life, if you're Kim Kardashian, and this is my opinion because they sue people for defamation. My opinion, and a wild pitch, James. Great job, James. Wild pitch. Way to go, bud. Now there's a runner on second base with one out. Cue the 2-run home run. Your life as a Kardashian has been defined by death and destruction, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Your name was made on the OJ case, and then your fame was solidified through the Ray J tape. And then you had the relationship with Ye. Death and destruction, like hard times, bad situations. The robbery, I think it was in Paris where she was robbed at gunpoint. Like, that's what this is. That's what this is. And I don't know, man. I am really shocked that her life continues to live in this lane, and she's made a living on it. And I give her credit for that. I have never watched the Kardashians. Now, I have seen the Kim K tape. Who hasn't? But I don't find Kim Kardashian or her sisters to be interesting.
Yeah, here's my take on their existence, if you will. First of all, I think they deserve a lot of credit for the ability to take, because I agree with you. They were, obviously they got their stature from the Ray J situation and the Oj situation. Those two situations.
Bob Kardashian.
Yeah.
Was OJ's lawyer.
Yeah. So those two situations are kind of what skyrocketed you to a certain level. But then from there, I think there's a lot of credit that they deserve for the business dealings they have, right? The brands they've launched, the ability to take their personal name, image, and likeness and launch makeup brands, launch clothing brands, the Skims thing. TV shows. Like, they deserve a lot of credit for their business dealings. And, I think when you're that much of a megastar, obviously, just like with everyone else, your dating history, who you have kids with, where you live, the lawsuits, the divorces, all of it. Like, your whole life becomes your business. So, yeah, I agree. Your life, you can make a strong case that your life has been built on death and destruction, and you've just sort of had to swim through that and make the best of it. And so, do I feel bad? Like, let me be really clear. No, I don't feel bad for Kim Kardashian. I don't feel any type of, oh man, gosh, man, I really feel bad for you that you're a billionaire, dude. Like,
poor girl.
I don't feel bad for you, bro. No, I don't. No. I think that everyone makes choices, and she's benefited from a lot of things. And she's also made some poor choices and good choices.
Whoa. Oak State James now is saying if the Cubs lose, he'll quit the show forever.
Yeah, I don't believe he did. Because you know what the truth is? Nobody quits the show forever.
And you shouldn't quit the show forever. You're a character. Play the role. You broke Preston Stone's cock.
If I knew what I was going to fucking do, I'd have already done it.
Right? You got Jake Retzloff run out of Provo.
That's not going to take place here.
Ollie Gordon never was, and then never was after you anointed him.
That's cute. I remember when I had my first beer.
How did that tight end at Oak State that you said was the best tight end you'd ever seen ever in the history of men's tight ends? How'd that work out? Todd Grantham? Huh. Okay. Zane Flores was going to be the Heisman Trophy winning greatest quarterback.
Here I am.
You're not quitting the show. Going to turn the show in to see if it will get its man card removed for covering the Kim K stuff. Oh, I think that's a huge tip of the cap as a man card. Both you and my friend Robert Allen like the Cubs.
Stop. Who the hell is Robert Allen, dude?
Who's Robert Allen?
Like,
that's bullshit.
I want them to win for your sake. No,
that's bullshit.
I don't, dude. I know who you are. You are the kiss of death. Right? You show up and the sun goes down, my brother. That's just the way your sports life is. Like, it's not personal. I mean, you do drive a Japo shitbox.
Why don't you fuck off?
That's your decision, though. I'm not the guy.
Can we be more specific on that point, though, real quick? You drive a Japo shitbox that's stickered and wrapped in TCU material.
Yeah, I'm not the guy. I'm not the guy who shape shifts like whatever those long-legged weirdos in the desert are to become a TCU fan, and then puts TCU stickers on my mirrors. I'm not that guy, pal. Now you're that guy. So own it. Own it. Listen, man. Be a shapeshifter. Jerry. Sorry, that came up in my head during our Kim K discussion. Is in the comment section, is Kim Kardashian hot? Is Kim K hot?
No.
I don't think so either.
Because again, and it's not, I'm not even speaking on her looks,
who have
dude.
shopped in the store.
Exactly.
I don't want to shop in the same store as Ray J. I don't. The Cubs are 3 outs away. from going to the division series. 3 outs away. Bottom of the 8th. Cubs are at the dish. Carson Kelly leading off. And the Cubs are 3 outs away. And
Skinwalkers.
Skinwalkers, yeah. James is a sports skinwalker.
That's right. Yeah.
James, in real life, I'm sure you're a perfectly nice guy. Well, sure is probably strong. You seem like a perfectly nice guy.
That's what they all say to James.
And then you show up on the police blotter one day when you say things about Preston Stone.
We don't take any shit.
Jay Kretzloff and Zane Flores and
Josh Ford and Ollie Gordon
and Mike Gundy and Todd Grantham and the nose tackle. And like, are you kidding me? I showed up with a bus to take clients for the Tahiti airport to the Intercontinental. It was Kanye and Kim Kardashian. They're cool. Booker was with them. Okay.
Dude, I don't have any doubt that well, Kanye I do now because he's certified crazy. But I don't have any doubt that Kim K is probably perfectly personable and like reasonable to be around in a public setting. That's not the conversation here, bro. The conversation is that it took people getting murdered and it took you making a sex tape for you to become popular. That's what the conversation is.
And then you say stuff, James, like Nicole Kidman is hot. Kim K is not. If we're just doing it on aesthetics, and you're the guy who smashed with a Walmart manager, and then it went bad, and you're like, poor me. We make choices in life. Like, yeah, Nicole Kidman. Are you out of your mind, Nicole Kidman? My God. I like red hair.
Bro.
You're married to a brunette, allegedly. You're out of your mind. You're out of your mind. PCA at the plate, Cubs, and he is going to single to right field.
Let's go.
Come on now. Real quick before we melt down over the Cubs. Jeffrey Epstein revelations, and this is bizarre beyond bizarre. I don't understand this administration. I'm just going to tell you, this is one of the wildest stories I've ever seen. Donald Trump has no friends, but Howard Lutnick, by all accounts, is about as good of a friend as as Donald Trump has. Well, until he did this.
That he was a pervert.
It's gross. The guy's gross. Right with my wife. He's gross. The guy's gross. This was not, the deep nuance of Howard Lutnick. This guy's gross.
Right. So how come Bill Gates and all these other people could hang around him and not see what you saw? Or did they see it and ignore it? Or
no, they participated.
Right.
That's what his MO was, get a massage. And what happened in that massage room, I assume, was on video. This guy was the greatest blackmailer ever. Blackmailed people. That's how he had money. So
what happened to those videos? Why is there now such a dearth of information when, Donald Trump's people are running the FBI and the DOJ?
I assume way back when they traded those videos in exchange for him getting that 18-month sentence, which allowed him to have visits and be out of jail. I mean, he's a serial sex offender. How could he get 18 months and be able to go to his office during the day and have visitors and stuff? It must have been a trade. So my assumption, I have no knowledge, but my assumption is there was a trade for the videos because there were people on those videos.
PCA is safe at second. James?
Well, first of all, that's interference on Buddy, first of all.
Yeah, I would agree with that. James, do not comment on this. Do not comment on this, Oak State James. Don't do it. What do you guys make of this Lutnick thing? He's safe. Bro, he is safe.
Well, now his hand comes off, and now he is out. But I maintain that that's interference.
We'll see.
You can't block the base like that.
Ryan Smith's receding hairline says the Cubs suck. Yes, they're terrible.
Fuck up, Donnie.
What do you guys make of this Howard Lutnick thing? Like it is.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I don't know, man. I agree with the sentiment that there was something has been done behind the scenes. There's been a deal made, like something has happened that has allowed this story to just sit. Right? Like if the people involved were,
God damn it. He's out. Well, there you go. He's out. 2 out, nobody on. Nobody on. Wow. I think that the part of this that should stand out to you is Jeffrey Epstein was a blackmailer. And you know he had videos. Lutnick confirmed that because remember we had heard there's no actionable evidence from Cash Valhalla Patel. Well, now we know that's not true. But look at how Epstein operated. He would set you up by trading in women. He would set up massage tables. He would likely, it sounds like from Howard Lutnick, facilitate massage and then videotape you while you were doing illegal illicit sexual acts with alleged underage women and then blackmail you with that tape. It's how a heinous sex offender and trafficker of women gets an 18-month sentence where he basically doesn't have to stay in jail. I mean, this is wild. Yeah. And now you understand why, hey, there's a government shutdown. Can't talk about the Epstein case. Hey, we're not gonna swear in this woman who rightfully was elected. Can't talk about the Epstein case. Right? Like, can just again and again and again and again and again. Cubs go to the top of the ninth, leading 3-0. Merrill, Bogarts, the first two. I am very curious to see who the Cubs bring out to pitch. But what do you make of this?
Yeah,
Lutnick
I mean, I think that I don't disagree with what he's saying. I do agree that this is one of the most studied and investigated people in human history. And I don't think that there's new stuff that's been unearthed. I think all we're talking about now is procedural stuff. Like, why aren't we talking about it? Or like, why isn't the files been released? Or
totally
how,
agree.
How is it that you had every Republican except 2 vote to keep them sealed or whatever, not released? What does that say about the Republican Party? And again, I'm not a Democrat, and I don't like to categorize myself as a Republican. Like, I just look at these people and I'm like, how much of a hypocrite are you? You guys all supported the guy who ran on Drain the Swamp and let it all out, and then you voted to not let it all out. Like, that's terrible.
Why is a good friend of Donald Trump's, a cabinet member of Donald Trump's, sitting down and talking about Jeffrey Epstein? And even though Lutnick used to be the next door neighbor of Jeffrey Epstein and hated him, why are you sitting there talking about this, directly contradicting multiple people in the administration?
Yeah.
What sense does this interview make?
I don't know. We don't know, but he does. He does. Like, there again, and I think it's really interesting. Like, when you start hearing people on Donnie's side, like people that are, theoretically his ally, start to talk about it, that there's potentially something on the horizon. And, every administration has government shutdowns. We've seen this. Every administration for the last 4 had shutdowns, including Obama. Obama had like 4 days worth of a government shutdown or whatever. But Donnie's already, I believe, 30 plus days of government shutdown in his 2 terms. And, I think that it just is, listen, it's not good for anybody. That's the hard part is that, we're in a place where soldiers aren't getting paid. You're laying off 750,000 federal workers. Like, we're not doing the things that we should be doing. And I still am steadfast that there are more people in our country now that you never hear from who are burned out on the BS than there are pro-Trump people who just love what's happening. Because there's no way that the masses, based on how this is affecting people, can like what's happening. That's the hard part.
Jackson Merrill just went deep, and it is 3-1. The Cubs lead the Padres.
James?
I mean, I just don't know how many other ways we can go about this. I'm telling you right now, it is not going to be a good thing. It's not going to be a good thing. And this is not good. This is not good. And that's a hanging splitter.
How do you leave a pitch there, dude? To a lefty, how do you leave a pitch there? I mean, that's a cardinal sin. That just can't happen.
Wow. And this is what it is, man. And this is how this game's going to go down. Because now you've got Bogarts, and after Bogarts, it's O'Hearn and Sheets, and, well, Johnson, Cronenworth, and Fermin. And Keller just needs to come out here and throw the baseball, man. Like, I like Brad Keller a lot. He's been a really good closer, but he's thrown 26 pitches here.
Yeah, not sure why we're asking him to throw 40 pitches.
And I don't know where you go here, because you already threw, I'd remind you, Theobar and Palencia. So I don't know where you go.
You're going to go to someone you don't like. That's what you're going to do.
Well, Andrew Kittredge is going to be the next guy off, and Matthew Boyd is warming up as well. So
I don't know. If you can get Bogarts here,
he's
you
3-2
you feel a lot better.
He's 3-2 to Bogarts.
Get Bogarts, get one out, you feel a lot better.
This is brutal. This is absolutely brutal. It is.
Yeah, don't try to save yourself, James. We don't care about you reporting the bots, bro. The bots are always going to be here.
Got him. Yeah. Got him. You're getting that pitch every time.
Hell yeah, dude.
You're getting that pitch every time.
Yeah.
Stay hard.
Not a chance in the world.
Coming out to argue.
Not a chance in the world was that a strike. That ball was low and outside, and not a chance in the world. No. He will not get ejected. Not a chance in the world was that a strike. Not a chance. That is a perfect pitch.
Pitcher's pitch. And now he's got that corner dialed in. But see, again, this is why I love baseball. This is the human element. Like, you took a pitch that was too close to take, bro.
And now you get O'Hearn, who's 1 for 3 and a 200 hitter, and he's down 0-2. Yeah, that looks like a strike.
Too close to take, bro.
Yeah, that looks like a strike.
Too close to take.
Carson Kelly did a great job framing that. Excellent job by Carson Kelly. 1 out now.
Put him away.
Keller to O'Hearn, 0-2. Good pitch. Down and away, 1-2.
Oh man, dude. Yeah, I don't know, man. I think that they're working hard to cover this up, and he hit him.
Fuck all the way off. How do you hit a guy on a 1-2 count to bring the tying run to the plate? Oh my God, how? How?
I mean, that's just terrible, dude. That's
stupid.
That's absolutely awful, bro.
Oh my God.
Yeah, why don't you come out and talk to him now, bud? Thanks.
Oh my God. Know your role and shut your mouth. That's the worst outcome right there. That is the absolute,
dude. Terrible.
That is the absolute worst outcome. There's not a worse outcome than that.
I'm not. This is his last hitter. You don't get this guy out, I'm putting someone else in. Simple as that.
I don't understand that decision. I really don't. And now you're looking at a guy who has no sortable stats Oh, why are you leaving him in here? I just don't.
Because this guy doesn't have power. That's why. Doesn't have power.
This is so painful. And he's throwing 95-mile-an-hour heaters. You got to roll him over on the outside corner.
Just get a double play here. Double play, and we're fine. Double play.
I cannot believe he hit him. You just cannot bring that guy to the plate. You can't bring the tying run to the plate. I mean, because now it's a high leverage situation.
Great pitch. That's a great pitch.
Change up 92 on the outside corner. Now again, we're 0-2. You're gonna hit him you're gonna hit this guy too.
Yeah, you're gonna dot this guy too, you loser.
And Keller's been really good for the Cubs.
Strikeout would be huge here. Yeah.
Good pitch. Away again. See, he's thinking the right way. Carson Kelly's calling a good game here.
He just made a
1
mistake.
and 2.
And you just can't make that mistake. That's all.
Yeah, he was jacked up and he pulled up and it looked like a split or a cutter. Going away again.
Hit
And
him again.
He did it again.
Hit the ground. Doesn't count. Does it count?
Yeah, it hit it. That's a hit by pitch.
You got to take him out, dude. You got to take him out now.
This is wild. This is absolutely the yips. This is absolutely
you gotta
the
take
yips.
him out.
I mean, it's another. Yeah, that's a cutter he's trying to throw there. That did hit the ground first. I don't know if that is.
I don't know the rule. Is that? I don't know if that's.
I don't know that rule either. I don't know if that's a hit by pitch or not.
Oh, yeah,
that's a hit by pitch.
Yes,
He's taking him out. And now is it Kittredge you're going to bring in because now you're playing with gas. Because now it's Cronenworth and Fermin and then Tatis, Arise, and Machado.
Yeah, you're literally managing for your season right here.
I am amazed by this, and I don't know.
Extras doesn't help you at all. Extras is terrible here.
I don't even know what you do.
But you're
this.
still one pitch away. That's the
yes,
mindset.
it is.
You're one
Kittredge
pitch
coming
away.
in. It is Kittredge coming in, and this very easily could be bases loaded, nobody out.
Mm-hmm.
This very easily could be bases loaded, nobody out. So,
yeah,
this is the stuff this is where this payroll being where it is makes me really nervous. And the decision to bring Palencia in,
don't love it, but we'll see. Again, it's result-oriented business. You win this game, hey, no problem.
I reported the fake James bot. Okay. I appreciate that. Gumby says, lol. Okay. Did the Cubs sign the Dodgers bullpen? No, our bullpen's pretty damn solid.
Not tonight, it's not.
Well, it's been really good today.
Yeah.
The bullpen's been excellent today. It is Keller. You don't ask closers to throw 35, 40 pitches. That's never, when does that ever end well?
It doesn't.
You know.
It doesn't. You're not wrong about that. It doesn't.
You know. That was the fake James. Do you think we don't know that? Do you think we don't know that?
This is going to be sketch as hell, dude. This is going to be sketch as hell.
Yeah, here comes Kittredge.
What do you think happens? Does he get out of it or does he give it up?
Does he go Oak State James or do we get out of this?
I think you get out of it. I think he gets him to roll over. I think you get out of it.
Cronenworth has not had a good series.
I would not be surprised if this was Matt Shaw step on third, throw to first. Redeem himself to end the game.
Yep. We'll see. Here we go. Ball in the dirt.
Man, his mechanics are trash.
We'll see.
Jesus.
He's an excellent he's an excellent late reliever. 7/8 inning.
Yeah.
And he has been excellent for this team. He's had a propensity to give up long balls, which makes you a little nervous. And good pitch, good sinker. 97, 1-1 count. Like
sinker pitcher here is smart though. If he's on, that's a really smart move by Counsell.
Man, this is just so difficult.
This is the postseason, dude. This is why you love postseason baseball right here.
I mean, this is, as a season ticket holder, this is a financial investment for me. Throws a 96-mile-an-hour sinker away. This is a financial investment for me because I have tickets through the postseason. And it's the fucking Cubs, man. Like, this is everything you live for right here. Got him!
No.
Oh, that's going to be one. And then oh my God. Oh my God.
Got him.
Oh my God.
Matt Shaw making it an adventure. Did they get him? No.
Wow. They're going to review it. Oh my God. This is going to be bases loaded because I think he's safe. And he is out.
Not even close.
He is out. He is out. What a cannon out of Matt Shaw. Wow. Great call by the umpire.
Umpire made the great call. Give him credit.
And remember that the crowd at Wrigley has been the loudest crowd in the playoffs. He's out by a mile. But the umpire cannot rely on the sound because most of you guys don't give a shit about this, but the umpire usually will use sound. Is his foot on the base?
Look at how hard he threw that ball, bro. That is crazy.
Yes, he's out. The umpire will listen for the glove foot on the base. One is a snap, one is a thud. And you can't do that with a loud crowd. All right. Here we go. 2 outs, bottom of the ninth.
Everything that you live for as a ball player right here.
Freddie Fermin.
2 outs, second and third. Your season's on the line. Can you come up clutch for your team?
Freddie Fermin at the plate with the tying run in scoring position. And he's 2 for 3. Here comes Kittredge with a sinker.
Did he hit it?
No, he flew out.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Here, let me help us all out. Help us all out.
This is...
Oh, wrong song. There we go. Here we go. There we go. Yep. We can play the song. We can feel good about the week. We get to do a good show tomorrow. Like, let's go. Let's go.
We get NLDS revenue. Until tomorrow, say goodbye, Jake.
Goodbye, Jake.